Randy Dreitz is the head coach of the Bee Diggers in his 5th season. The assistants, Micah Christensen, Ron Albo, Lance Schwinn, Brent Orman, Dick Creighton, Torrey Jensen, the head coach of the visiting Rams, Mike Brinson, Eric Nieslanik, Neil Jensen, John Nielsen, Bill Edwards, Matt Hopley, Jeff Leahy, Rob Toome, and Tom Joyner are the assistants. Both teams at 8-2. The Bee Diggers in their home maroon with the gold striping and the white numerals. Roaring Fork with those Ram helmets. They're dressed in all gold with the royal blue numerals. And, Dave, I saw some team defer something here on the coin flip. I'm not sure if it was Brush that deferred.
Actually, I think Roaring Fork deferred, and then Brush elected to receive. So Brush is going to receive on the north end of the field, and they'll be driving towards the scoreboard. And it looks like they'll be going into the wind a little bit. So Roaring Fork must have decided to go ahead and kick with the wind.
Well, that wind is somewhat of a factor, too. I mean, you can see it's whipping, Dave.
Yeah, it's picked up. It's picked up quite a bit since the beginning of the pregame and everything. But now the flag is pretty much standing. It's not stiff like it was in the Bennett game, but it's standing straight up and blowing in the opposite direction than what we're used to.
And again, like Dave mentioned, Roaring Fork provided everyone with rosters listing nothing in terms of height, weight, or positioning, but we'll figure it out along the way. And to kick it off for Roaring Fork, a sophomore, Clayton Klingon.
He looks pretty big.
Yeah, very big. Clayton Klingon. If he was a radio guy, he would be forced to change his name. There's no doubt about it. That doesn't roll off the tongue. J.J. Persley and Josh Gutierrez back to receive, and there is the kickoff, and it's fielded by Persley at the 15-yard line, running left to the 20, across the 25 to the 30, tackled at the 32-yard line by Clayton Ives. That kickoff brought to you by Ackley Building Center, your one-stop center for projects around your home, office, or yard at 1402 Mill Street. Now the starting lineup brought to you by Cargill Meat Solutions as the Bee Diggers have the football at their own 31-yard line to begin this game. The quarterback is Matt Ely. Greg Geno and J.J. Persley in the backfield. That offensive line led by Tyson Krall in the middle. The receiver to the right, Josh Gutierrez, backs in an eye. 1st and 10, the handoff to Persley right up the gut. He's got nothing. They really collapsed on him, Dave. I mean, 2 guys in there for Roaring Fork, including Cody Jeffries. It looks like they're cheating.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Roaring Fork came out in a 5-man front. They were in a 5-3, and that means they have a nose guard and 2 defensive tackles and 2 defensive ends and then 3 linebackers, and they sent their middle linebacker right off the bat. So that might have been what stuffed it up there a little bit.
Yeah, cheating a little bit towards the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 9 from the 32. And Gutierrez in motion to the left, has the handoff, trying to run wide and cannot get around to Roaring Fork Ram. And I believe the ball is fumbled. No, he was down. He was down unless they change it. But the tackle made by Trevor Hunt, and it should be 3rd down, and with the ball just shy of the 30, 3rd down and 11. That's a loss of 2.
Yeah, that was just an end around that Brush tries to run a lot, and Roaring Fork, the Roaring Fork defense showed a lot of speed as they had a lot of pursuit out there, and they had the people there to force Gutierrez to give up a lot of ground before he had a chance to turn the corner, and that's what got him stopped up there and made him fumble the ball.
Anthony Hurt is into the game. It'll be 3rd down and 11. Bee Diggers from their 30-yard line, and Ely back to throw. Throws it out in the right flat to Hurt. He's got the football. He's going nowhere, though. He'll get to the 33-yard line before he's stacked up by 3 Rams. The first Ram in on the play was Jake Bowman, the junior linebacker. He's a very, very solid player. Bee Diggers have to watch out for him on both offense and defense. A pickup of 4. It'll be 4th down and about 8 yards to go. The Bee Diggers will have to punt.
Brush just ran that little flare pass out there to this right side. Anthony made a choice to cut it upfield, and if he would have took it outside wide and got to the sideline, he might have had a little bit more running room.
J.J. Persley to punt, a perfect snap. Light rush, he gets it off, and that punt is going to land at the 46-yard line of Roaring Fork and take a Bee Digger bounce, but not much of one. It'll be down at the 45. Roaring Fork now with excellent field position, and the Bee Diggers in the past, Dave, when they haven't had that field position advantage, they've struggled a bit here. That defense is now really going to have to step up.
You bet. And the thing we have to remember is Roaring Fork's got Aaron Markham, who's one of the best quarterbacks in the state, and he's got the wind at his back, and you can expect Roaring Fork to come out and throw the ball quite a bit here and take the wind to their advantage.
Trevor Hunt and Jake Bowman in the backfield First and 10, Markham and the Rams at the 45-yard line. Here's the give to Bowman running right side. He's stacked up at the line of scrimmage and down. Greg Geno was in on the play, as well as Travis Bass, but no gain.
The Brush defensive line, I was looking right down the line of scrimmage here as the play happened right in front of me, and the Brush defensive line didn't give up an inch. Boy, they shot across the line of scrimmage, and they even gained a little bit of ground in the Roaring Fork backfield, and they were able to converge on Bowman and stop his forward progress.
Second down and 10 with the backs now, well, actually in a shotgun formation now is Markham with one back to his right, and he will give it to Bowman running left. He gets around Tedford running back towards the middle. Then he's upended by Anthony Hurt at around the 47.5-yard line. We'll give him 2 yards on the play, making it third down and 8, but that Brush run defense looks as solid as the Roaring Fork run defense did when the Beat Diggers had the football.
Yep, the only difference is they got the first positive yardage of the game. Brush's second run amounted to about a -3 because of that fumble, and they were able to get a positive 2.
Third down and 8 for Roaring Fork at their own 47-yard line. 2 receivers out to the right. The outside man is a sophomore, Tyler Hunt, and 2 receivers to the left. One lone set back in a shotgun formation. Markham is back to throw over the middle. That pass is dropped at the 40-yard line. Wide open was Christian Tenna, and he just dropped the football, Dave. If not, that's a first down and probably about a 15 to 20-yard gain.
Right. The Brush linebackers dropped back there. I saw Rafael Munoz from his linebacker position on the left side. He dropped back there to get coverage and try to get into the passing lane, but Markham threw the ball so well, boy. He threw it right on a bullet right to him, and Brush was just lucky he dropped it because that would have been big yards.
And Tenna to punt for Roaring Fork, standing at his own 34-yard line. And the snap is low. Now he's going to run with a football and fake it. He's got running room to the outside at the 50-yard line. Michael Cummings cannot drag him down. A first down across the 40, and he's out of bounds at around the 31-yard line. If Cummings makes the play, then he's got him right there, but he couldn't. Instead, it's a big gainer of 22 yards for the Rams and Christian Tenna, who makes up for the mistake.
Yeah, Tenna just kind of bobbled that ball a little bit, and what happened to Brush was their defensive ends lost their containment. Whenever they rush the punter, they absolutely have to make sure they rush from the outside in, so if he does run with the ball, he's got to run it right up the gut, and he just ran around the outside, and Cummings tried to tackle him from behind and tried to grab a hold of him, but he just didn't have the strength to hold on long enough and hold him up, and they come up with a 22-yard gain.
8:44 to go in the opening quarter. No score in this 2A quarterfinal playoff game between Brush and Roaring Fork. Markham in a shotgun formation with Bowman to his left. Man in motion to the left. And this will be a quarterback keeper right up the middle. Big gain across the 30 to around the 26-yard line. Cummings makes the play. But again, he gets about 5 yards on the play. It'll be second down and 5.
Now the Brush defense is thinking, heck, we had them right where we wanted them, and they got that 22-yard gain, and now we have to start all over. And this is a point right here where it's a character test where they have to decide how bad they want to continue on. There's going to be a lot of these little tests throughout this game.
Second down and a little bit less than 5 to go, just inside the Beat Digger 26-yard line. This is the opening possession for Roaring Fork. Again, in a shotgun is Aaron Markham. In motion to the left is Hunt. And play action, looking to throw. Here comes the pressure, fumble, and the Beat Diggers have it at the 32-yard line. Greg Geno stripped it. Greg Geno recovered the football, Dave.
And it's a good thing there was a fumble there because I just looked at Nislanik. Parker Nislanik's one of their best receivers, and he was wide open over here by himself in the back end of the end zone over here. And their other receiver out to the other side, I couldn't really tell for sure who it was. I think it was Cody Jeffries. He was wide open right by the goalpost. So Brush might have caught a break with the fumble, but they caught a bigger break with not having to give up a touchdown to those open receivers.
I guess they took a chance and brought pressure there because you can't have that many guys open just blowing coverages, but it was the case there. Bass in motion to the right, and now we got a penalty flag down. At least I thought a flag was down. And the Beat Digger players are clapping. It should be against Roaring Fork. It'll be a 1st and 5 on the offsides. And in high school football, Dave, if you line up offsides, they won't snap it.
Right. They're going to stop you before the play ever gets started. And a big break for Brush there. We'll take every 5 yards we can get.
From the 37-yard line, the Beat Diggers forced the first turnover of the game. Now, can they capitalize on it? They have yet to see the football on the Roaring Fork side of the field. I know we're only 4 minutes and 1 second in, but the Beat Diggers usually make short order of eliminating that statistic. And the handoff to Geno, right side across the 40 to around the 44. First down, a gain of 7, and the tackle was made by Aaron Markham, who also plays defense for this Roaring Fork team.
And Aaron Markham had to absorb quite a hit there from Geno to make that tackle. So Brush starting to ride the horse that brought him here.
You got to do it, and you have to make him pay. You want him tired when Roaring Fork has the football. First and 10, Beat Diggers. Baxter split, Persley and Geno from their own 44-yard line. The handoff in the middle to Persley. He dives to around the 46-yard line. A pickup of 2 on the play, as that play was made by Christian Tenna.
Tenna shows a lot of speed out there, boy. He's kind of all over the field, and it looks like he's got quite a bit of football savvy. As you know, it's like he's able to predict where the football is.
Second down and 8 for the Beat Diggers at their own 46-yard line on an overcast day. From Beat Digger Stadium, temperatures in the lower 40s. In motion to the left is Dustin Bass, and Ely will hand it off left tackle to Geno. And he initially had about a yard, but then he used his body to get about an extra couple of yards. He'll pick up 3 on the play, setting up a 3rd and 5, but any other back, Dave, doesn't get 3 on that one.
Exactly. You know, he did most of that himself, just like you said, and it's going to be interesting to see what Brush does here. You know, if they go for all of it or just try to get a piece of it and make this 4-down territory or what.
The backs now in a 9. Now they're split. Geno and Persley. 3rd down and 5 to go. Beat Diggers at their own 49. Nick Dreitz in motion to the right. The toss right to Persley has a seam to the outside, but he's not going to quite get there. He's down at the Roaring Fork 48-yard line, and he was met by Markham. It's a gain of 3, setting up a 4th and a long 2. And now decision time for Randy Dreitz.
Yeah, J.J. just didn't have quite enough speed to get out there to the outside, and he made a decision to try to cut it back against the grain as well, and the Roaring Fork defender did a good job of breaking down right there until J.J. made his decision and made the open field tackle.
Well, the Beat Diggers on 4th and 2 apparently are going for it from the 48. The handoff, Geno up the middle. First down, breaks 2 tackles. He's in the clear at the 30. Oh, he's tripped up at around the 28-yard line after Tenna did an excellent job of diving at the last second and just getting a fingertip on Geno's right ankle, but nonetheless, Geno with a gain of 19.
You know, that's quite a statement Brush is making. I don't think Coach Dreitz even hesitated on that to go for it, and you know what they're thinking. It's like if they can't make 3 yards, they might as well not continue on next week.
5:42 to go, opening quarter. No score between Brush and Roaring Fork. Nick Dreitz in motion to the left, 1st and 10 for the 29. The handoff right up the gut to Geno, and he gets to around the 26-yard line, a pickup of 3. A couple of Rams in there on the play, including Cody Jeffries, a junior. It'll be 2nd and 7 for the Diggers.
Jeffries shot in there really low and got Geno around the ankles and happened to get a hold of both of them, and Geno couldn't drive off his inside foot to pick up another yard.
Beat Diggers moving left to right from our vantage point. Gutierrez, the outside receiver to the right. To the left is Dustin Bass, 2nd and 7 with a back split. In motion to the right is Dreitz from the 26 of Roaring Fork. Hurt has it, breaks a couple of tackles, and he gets to the 20-yard line before he was tripped up there by Tenna. Another Ram cleaned up the play, but it's a pickup of 6 and setting up only 3rd and 1. Now the Beat Diggers have a few options here, Dave.
You bet. And Hurt, he just brings another dimension. When he hits the line of scrimmage, he's going so fast that, it's the defense kind of gets lulled to sleep waiting for J.J. and Geno, but when Hurt hits it, boy, he hits it running hard.
Boy, he is lightning through there. 3rd down and 1 for the Roaring Fork 20. Ely hands off to Geno. First down across the right side, and he gets to around the 16-yard line. Jake Bowman in on the play, but not before 4 yards from Greg Geno, the senior fullback.
And I happened to see a Roaring Fork player there just hit Nick Dreitz right in the back after the whistle was over, and it's just going to be a matter of time if Brush can keep just pounding and keeping their head in the game before we start seeing some tempers flare. And my experience with Roaring Fork is that's something that's, bound to happen.
Approaching the 4-minute mark of the opening quarter, the Beat Diggers at the Roaring Fork 16, 1st and 10. This is their second drive of the game. The backs are split. Ely hands off to Geno across the left side, still on his feet, down at around the 9-yard line. The play was made. It might have been Christian Tenna again, but not before a pickup of close to 7.
Brush put Hurt in there, and they just had to worry about Hurt before, so you could bet the Roaring Fork players were worried about him, and they faked the pitch to Hurt, and then handed it off to Geno right in front of him. And there was just a little bitty hole there, but Geno was so strong, as he ran through it, he just opened it up wider.
2nd and 3. The ball just shy of the Roaring Fork 9. This will be a keeper, a bootleg to the right side by Ely. He's to the 5, to the 2. He tries to score. Does he get in? He's right at the goal line. It'll be 1st and goal inside the 1 for Ely on the bootleg to his right. And let me tell you, Roaring Fork did not pick that up until fairly late there, Dave. An excellent play call.
And I'll tell you what, Bryant Finley had a huge block there because he's the right tackle, and he's got to make sure that he seals off whoever their outside guy is, whether it's a defensive end or a defensive tackle, and he seals them off. And then in the meantime, he also sealed off their nose guard, one of the linebackers, and he blocked like 3 guys on that play.
1st and goal inside the 1. I believe Matt Ely's going to call a timeout unless there's trouble with a play clock or an equipment flare here, but apparently we will just continue play. 3:15 to go, and the clock now begins to wind. 1st and goal inside the 1. Will this be Greg Geno time again? Ely hands it off to Geno, right side. He scores after being hit at the line of scrimmage. He dives into the end zone from a yard away, and the Beat Diggers lead 6-0.
I see Coach Stride's holding up one finger there. That means he's sending in his PAT team, and so Rafael Munoz is going to step in there and try to keep his streak going with good PATs.
Munoz was 3 for 3 last week, and he made his first 4 or 5 against Eaton 2 weeks ago, so he's certainly kicking well. There is a win to contend with.
Hey, I'll tell you, the thing is these PATs and conversions are so important in the playoffs, and we just got to hope he can keep doing it, because that sure does take the pressure off.
Travis Bass holds, awaiting the snap. It's perfect. The kick is up, and that kick looks good. That kick is good. 3:06 to go, opening quarter. Rush 7, Roaring Fork nothing. Back in 30 on 10-10 KSIR. The Beat Digger drive, 11 plays, 68 yards in 4 minutes and 53 seconds. Munoz to kick it off high and short. It's going to be fielded and fumbled by Bowman at the 23, and he pounces on it at the 21-yard line. He had to dive back towards the goal line in order to get back on that football. He was trying to catch that ball on the run, and he just didn't look it in, and everybody was yelling around here for the Beat Diggers to try to jump on that ball, but obviously they weren't down there yet.
I noticed the wind's starting to die down just a little bit, but Brush has got to hold Roaring Fork here, and they got to try to make sure that, Roaring Fork, they got to go against the wind, and they want to make sure they don't give them a chance to score here with the wind at their back.
1st and 10, the football at the 21-yard line. Under center is Aaron Markham, the backs in an eye. This will be a give right side to Bowman. He's taking it to the outside, and he's getting nothing. He might have lost a yard. The first Beat Digger in on the play was Travis Bass, and it looked like Bowman was waiting for a couple of blocks, Dave, that never occurred.
Yeah, Rafael Munoz was playing his linebacker position at defensive end that time, and he was fighting it to the outside, and right when Bowman started to go inside, it looked like Munoz kind of spun off his block and filled that hole, and that forced Bowman back to the outside, and Travis Bass at the corner was right there to make the tackle. And he may be a corner, but I'll guarantee you he's a good tackler because Travis is one of the best hitters on the team. 2nd
down and 11, Roaring Fork from their own 20-yard line, trailing 7-0 after the Beat Diggers just scored in a 1-yard plunge by Greg Geno. This will be the handoff to Christian Tenna, I believe that is, right up the gut. He dives to around the 25. Let's confirm that. And, nope, instead, that is Trevor Hunt. Trevor Hunt, even though Tenna's in the game, but it's a pickup of 5 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and around 6. The ball's at the 25. They've got to get to the 31. 2 receivers to the right, and Markham's going to be under center. No shotgun formation. Backs in an eye. The deep back is Jake Bowman on 3rd down, and this will be a give up the middle, and breaking tackles and getting a 1st down is Hunt. The Beat Diggers had him at the 27, but they don't bring him down until he gets to the 32. Munoz made the tackle, and another Beat Digger still down, J.J. Persley. He assisted on the play. He is still down on his knees. It's a pickup of 7, and Dave, the Beat Diggers could have made that a 3-and-out very easily.
I'll tell you what, that Hunt, he's a big load to try to tackle, and he can do a number on you. He lowered his shoulder there and ran right over Munoz.
1:28 to go. Time will be called, and I'm not sure if this is just an official's timeout. By the way, when the Beat Diggers scored, we can tell you that score for the Beat Diggers, just another first quarter score like they had last week Last week they scored on their opening drive. This week they scored on their second drive, but the Beat Diggers, I believe now that's 4 consecutive, might even be 5 consecutive games that they've scored a touchdown in the opening quarter. First down and 10 at the 32-yard line for Roaring Fork on their own side of the field. Throw out in the flat. That pass is caught at the 35-yard line. Anthony Hurt makes the tackle close to the 39 on Parker Nieslanik. It'll be a gain of 7 and second down and 3. Just a quick hitter there.
The bad thing is Munoz was out of the game, and he's kind of the one that really knows what's going on there with rotating linebackers and stuff around, and he's the one that was practicing it all week. And that time they brought Nieslanik out, and they didn't have anybody there to cover him, and that's got to be a linebacker that's got to get out there. And it's happening again. They don't have a linebacker over there to cover him.
Second and 3, and here's the option. No, they give up the middle. Boy, that fooled me completely. Diving over the 45 to the 47 is Jake Bowman. He's got a first down, a gain of 8. Hey, this quarterback, Markham, does a great job of disguising the play because there were a few Beat Diggers trying to tackle the quarterback.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, they're going to have to, against any good option team, the defense has just got to make sure they got people that are there to tackle the fullback, people there that are to tackle the quarterback and the pitchman every single time.
The official marks the football at the 48-yard line. First and 10 for Roaring Fork. Under 20 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Faking, throwing over the middle. The pass is complete. First down to the 35-yard line. Breaking a tackle. Now fumbling the football. Can the Beat Diggers get on it? They do! At the 28-yard line, J.J. Persley has the football as Jake Bowman caught the pass over the middle but fumbled it, and the Beat Diggers forced their second turnover of this game. It was a pickup of 18 yards on the play before the fumble occurred.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I got to pat Markham on the back on that one because I think that was actually Jake Harris that caught the ball there, and it looked like Markham was going to throw the ball on a little flare out there, get it out there to Nieslanik again like he did on a couple plays before. But he pulled it down right when he saw Harris come open, and he threw it right over the middle, right on the money.
Yep, it definitely was Harris. First and 10. Beat Diggers at the 28-yard line. The give right up the gut, lowering his shoulder. Greg Geno, a load to bring down. They do bring him down. But after a gain of 5 to the 33, the tackle was made by Tyler Hunt. That's the end of the opening quarter. Brush 7, Roaring Fork nothing. We're back in 1 minute on KSIR.com and 1010 KSIR. Second quarter beginning of this Class 2A quarterfinal playoff game for the 33. Matt Ely back to throw over the middle. The pass is complete to Nick Dreitz at the 40, and he's down at around the 47-yard line. A gain of 14 and a Beat Digger first down. Christian Tenna makes the play, and there might be a late flag. There's something down on the field. There is a late flag at the 47-yard line, Dave.
And Nick Dreitz is limping off the field here at the same time as he caught the ball, and I think he kind of surprised himself about how wide open he was. And he could have ran to the right, he could have ran to the left, but he just stepped on it and ran right up the middle and picked up an extra 4 or 5 yards there. And I sure hope he's okay because he's a pretty powerful receiver for the Diggers.
Yeah, I think he'll be all right. He's limping off right now. It's a personal foul against Roaring Fork, so the Beat Diggers will have the football at the 37-yard line of Roaring Fork the 38-yard line after they step off the penalty. And, this is something that was reminiscent of Brush last week, Dave, in the opening half.
Right, just fumbles and penalties and anything that could hurt you would. And that time it looked like the Roaring Fork player just kind of dove in. It looked like there was going to be a fumble there or something as he dove in there, but I guess he just went in there and led with his head, I guess, huh?
That's what it appeared to be from here. First down and 10. Nick Dreitz trying to walk that off on the sideline. The handoff to Greg Geno running wide to the left. He's tripped up at the 37. A gain of 1. An excellent play by Jake Bowman.
Well, one thing's for sure about Geno. If he's running north and south, he's going to pick up a lot of yards, but not very often do you ever see him take it outside the tackles and try to beat people to the sideline and turn it up and get a big gain. It just doesn't happen for him very often.
That's more of J.J. Persley's game, or even Anthony Hurt for that matter. But the blocking apparently wasn't there, which is why he took it to the outside. Second down and 9 for the Beat Diggers of the Roaring Fork, 37, opening minute of the second quarter. Brush leading 7-0. The counter to Persley, a hold of the 35 outside as he dives to around the 30-yard line. Bowman in there on the play again after he was tripped up by another Ram prior to going down. But that pickup close to 7 yards, and now a third and short.
You know what? I watched Josh Gutierrez from his wide receiver position. He was getting position on his cornerback to make a big block, and the corner turned his back on him right away, and I saw Josh just kind of back off and put his hands in the air and make sure he didn't get called for a blocking in the back. So a heads-up play there by Gutierrez as he was in perfect position.
3rd down and 2, Beat Diggers from the 30-yard line. The backs are split, Geno and Hurt. Ely up to the line of scrimmage. Bass in motion to the right. Ely hands off to Geno right side. First down to the 25. Breaks tackles to the 20. He's at the 15, the 10. He carries a man inside the 5 to around the 4-yard line. It's a gain of 26 and a Beat Digger 1st and goal.
That little Luke Harris was there at his free safety position for Roaring Fork, and he saw Geno break that tackle, and you could bet his eyes probably got as big as silver dollars, and he realized he was the one that was going to have to make the tackle, and he just jumped up and grabbed Geno in the back of his shoulder pads and just kind of used his weight to just kind of drag him down, and that's the only thing that kept Geno out of the end zone.
1st and goal, Brush for the Roaring Fork 4. With Geno and Persley now in the backfield. Gutierrez, the receiver, to the right. Ely looking over the defense. Now back under center. Ely will hand it off to Geno. Runs right into Rams at the line of scrimmage. Might have been lucky to get to the 3-yard line. Christian Tenna, one of several Rams to make the play, as they were definitely keying on Greg Geno.
I think Matt might have changed the play there. As I was watching Roaring Fork line up in their 5-3, there's just a huge hole over here on the left side when Brush lines up with their running back on the right side, so they're strong right, and it looked like Ely might have changed the play to go ahead and hand it off Geno to the left, and it just didn't work. 2nd and goal from the 4. Ely this time is going to hand it off on the counter to Persley. He's going nowhere, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage as he backs his way into the 4-yard line. Again, Tenna and several other Roaring Fork Rams to make the play, including Evan Sarton, a big senior. The only good thing for Brush, it's eating up time, and if they score, that will help from that standpoint. But if they're forced to go for it on 4th down, that tackle by Harris could be a big play in this game. Oh, it could be huge, and we just got to hope Brush punches it in here, because that could be a big momentum gainer for Roaring Fork after that turnover.
Inside of 9 minutes to go in the second. Beat Diggers already leading 7-0. 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. Ely might keep it right here. And he's play action, looking to throw. Corner of the end zone, caught by Nick Dreitz in the left corner of the end zone. Wide open for the touchdown from 4 yards away. Brush, 13, Roaring Fork, nothing.
Just a great play there by the coaching staff. You know, Roaring Fork was just, they had all 11 players stacked there in the box. What that means is they're all right there in between the tight ends, and they're tackling Hurt, Persley, Geno. They're tackling all the running backs every single time. And that time, Ely just made a real nice play-action fake and faded back, and Dreitz just drifted off into the corner of the end zone, and he's such a big, sure-handed target. It was an easy touchdown for Brush.
Rafael Munoz to attempt the extra point. Awaiting the snap. There was movement there, and a flag is thrown. It appeared that Roaring Fork was offsides, but Roaring Fork is pointing towards Brush's side. It's offsides, Roaring Fork. Okay, Dave, I know what you're doing now. I'm sure Randy Dreitz is thinking the same thing. The ball's not at the 2.5 now. Now it's going to be inside the 1.5-yard line. That's rather tempting to go for 2.
And you betcha. I'll tell you what, nobody stopped Geno all day long. If I was Coach Dreitz, there's so many things he could do. He could give it to Geno, give it to Persley. He could let Ely throw it in. He could let Ely bootleg it. Let's see what he does.
Ely under center, going for 2. Handoff, Geno right side. He walks into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Brush, 15. Roaring Fork, nothing. How about a 30-second break on KSIR.com and 1010 KSIR. Kickoff taken by 10 at the 16-yard line, running straight ahead to the 30, and he's down at around the 31-yard line, maybe a little bit beyond that. Anthony Hurt makes the play. The Beat Digger drive, another masterful drive for Brush. 8 plays, 72 yards in 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Matt Ely, a 4-yard toss to Nick Dreitz. And Dave, you and I could have caught that one almost blindfolded considering how open he was.
You're right, but let's not get too excited. Remember, Roaring Fork's got the offensive quarterback and the receivers, and they're capable of putting points on the board in a hurry, and Brush can't afford to celebrate yet. 1st and 10 from their own 30. The backs are split, and here's the give in the middle, and a nice gainer across the 35 for Bowman. He's down at the 37-yard line. Again, he was just bouncing off Beat Digger tacklers before he picked up that yardage, and it was Tyson Krall to make the tackle, but a gain of 7. And you know, Bowman's just doing a great job. He's got 17 yards on 5 carries, but most of his yards has been on his last 3 carries with those options where they've elected to give him the ball.
Beat Diggers leading 15-0 after the touchdown and 2-point conversion. And this will be a give in the middle and a fumble again, but I believe Roaring Fork jumps on it this time. And was that Bowman again with the football? And it was. It'll be a gain of 4 across the 40 to the 41. And it is a first down, but Beat Diggers hanging on to the football with no problem. And Roaring Fork, even though the conditions shouldn't dictate that they drop the football, have Butterfingers today, 1st and 10. Maybe it's those yellow uniforms from the 41-yard line, moving left to right. Markham under center. The backs are split. 2 receivers to the right. And this will be a give right in the middle. And a diving attempt there across the 43 to the 44-yard line. And Christian Tenna was the ball carrier, a gain of 3. That's all it is. They're getting the ball, they're running low, and then they're just lunging for extra yardage.
Yeah, what scares me is they're having some success with that run game, and they have these 2 twins out here every single time. I'm just expecting to see that play action here any minute.
2nd down and 7, Roaring Fork on their own 44-yard line. And Markham this time looking to throw out in the right flat. That pass is complete and knocked down right at the 48-yard line by Travis Bass is Parker Nieslanik. It will be a pickup of 4 on the play. Excellent job there by Bass, by the way, Dave. He held containment.
Yeah, he did, and he had to come from a long ways to do it because from his position he was at, he was playing that receiver on the inside, trying to take away the slant. And what happened was they ran a quick out with him. So not only did he make a great tackle, but he had to come from a long ways away to even get there in time to keep him from gaining more yards.
It'll be 3rd down and about 3 to go. The football at the 48. They've got to get to the Brush 49-yard line with the backs in an eye. This could be a gift to Bowman once again, as Markham will hand it off in the middle, and nothing that time. Trevor Hunt is just corralled by the middle of that Digger defense. Wow, they got in there big time. Spencer Garrett, along with a couple of other Diggers, just eating him up.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Spencer Garrett, he's about 200 pounds and not a lot of height, but a ton of quickness, and he just tees off in there, shows a lot of good concentration. When he saw that ball move, he shot across the line of scrimmage, and he was all over that Hunt kid before he had a chance to get any kind of momentum at all.
No gain. The Beat Diggers have to watch out for the fake here on 4th and 3, and that will be a regular snap, and Tenna does punt it off the side of his foot, lands at the Beat Digger 40, taking a Roaring Fork roll, and is down to the 30-yard line, but a very, very shaky punt by Christian Tenna of only 22 yards. With 5:45 to go, Dave, in the second quarter, and the Beat Diggers up 15-0. Boy, to eat up this entire clock would be a huge, well, it's already a momentum gainer for the Beat Diggers with a double-digit lead, but that would extend that momentum they've already established.
Especially if they were able to go ahead and get some points, whether it be a field goal or a touchdown, to go ahead with more than a three-touchdown lead would be huge for the halftime.
Like Dave said, that Roaring Fork offense is explosive. Ely back to throw, out to the right, and it's incomplete. Gutierrez was wide open, actually, to his left, and he just overthrew him at the 37-yard line on a simple down and out.
Yeah, he missed him by at least 5 yards on that, and it was a long ways away, boy. They were throwing from the right hash mark, and Gutierrez was standing clear over here where the numbers are painted on the field, and so it was a long throw, but that was something I bet you Ely wish he could have got there because that would have been close to a first down.
Yeah, it appears that Roaring Fork coverage is rather soft as Strides was open earlier, and the Beat Diggers could have some success through the air, even though they've ran the football very well. 2nd and 10 from the 30-yard line, and Ely on the draw play to Geno has a hole through the middle at the 33, but he's down right there as Jake Bowman makes the play. 3rd down and 7. Critical play here for both sides.
Yeah, Brush does not want to have to give the ball back to Roaring Fork for sure and give them another opportunity to score and try to close down the game, before the half. And at the same time, they want to make sure that they assert themselves and not go 3 and out and have to punt the ball here.
3rd and 7. The Beat Diggers are their own 33 inside of 5 minutes to go, almost 5 minutes to go in the second, leading 15-0. Ely on the quarterback, keeper to the right, running 35 to the 40, a lane to the 45, and he's knocked out of bounds at around the 49-yard line. A gain of 16, and a Beat Digger first down, another outstanding play call.
Yeah, and some phenomenal blocking, and I'll tell you what, you have to search pretty hard to find a kid that runs that bootleg much better than Matt, because once he starts striding out and he gets some momentum going, he's hard to catch. He's pretty fast.
The Beat Diggers scoring on a Greg Geno 1-yard run, and then later a 4-yard pass from Matt Ely to Nick Dreitz to go along with a 2-point conversion. And they lead by 15 points, 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line. Dreitz is in motion to the left with a back split. The pitch left to Anthony Hurt. A lane to the 45-yard line, left sideline to the 40. Outrunning a defender to the 30. Still on his feet at the 20. Breaks a tackle, knocked out of bounds at around the 17-yard line. Give him 34 yards. Another Beat Digger first down.
And he is so powerful. Right there, that time Aaron Markham came over to make the tackle, and he flew in there like he was going to put the hurts on Anthony. And
No
Anthony
pun intended.
Yeah, it was no pun intended, boy. Hurts put the hurt on him. I'll tell you what, as he ended up laying on the ground, and Anthony ended up standing right over him.
The Beat Diggers with the ball at the 17-yard line of the Rams. 1st and 10. The offense in fluid motion right now. And Ely hands it off to Geno, across right tackle to the 15, driving towards the 10, and then there come about 5 Rams to drive him back. But a gain of nearly 7 as the ball will be placed just outside the 10. It'll be 2nd down and 3.
Okay, John, using your best football judgment, how many yards does Geno have today already on 13 carries?
I would say 48.
You are half right, 87 yards.
It doesn't. I mean, those are quiet yards to me.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it, but I'll tell you what, that 126-yard carry he had about 5 carries ago made a big difference.
2nd and 3 from the 10. Ely to throw, out to the left. The pass complete to Gutierrez at the 4. Tries to break a tackle. He carries a defender to around the 2. It's a gain of 8. 1st and goal for the Beat Diggers. Boy, I'm telling you, Dave, that coverage looks very, very soft.
Yeah, they're definitely giving the brush receivers plenty of respect and giving them a lot of yards there. And that time Ely didn't throw that thing wide at all. It hit Josh Gutierrez right on the numbers, and Gutierrez showed a lot of strength there as he tried to break a tackle and got a couple of extra yards on the reception.
Handoff to Geno, left side, breaks a tackle at the 1. He dives, touchdown. Greg Geno from 2 yards away. The Beat Diggers now lead 21-0. Geno with a 2nd score of the game.
Geno's just so powerful. I'm starting to see, some of the Roaring Fork players starting to put their hands in the air a little bit. And if I was in their shoes, I'd probably do the same thing because he's such a huge load. How are you gonna stop the guy?
That's a good question. Munoz to attempt the extra point. Wow, that was a bad guess I had. That was a real bad guess. It seems Geno's yards have been quiet. Now he's up to 89. Should be. I mean, that was 2
89.
yards.
I never expected you to be the type that would, let something get you down and hold you down like that.
Well, I'll let it go. If he makes the extra point, which is up and it's right into the line of scrimmage, I think Munoz tried to compensate for Jake Bowman rushing from the left side. So the Beat Diggers lead still at 21-0. 4 minutes to go in the second. Back in 30 on KSIR.com and 1010 KSIR. Rafael Munoz to kick it off. And that will be fielded at the 7-yard line by Jake Bowman, running to his left. Breaks a tackle at the 20, across the 30-yard line to around the 31. A return of 24. The Beat Digger drive, Dave, only took a minute 50, and they ran 7 plays, 70 yards, but they had a big 34-yard run from Anthony Hurt, and that really shortened the drive as the Beat Diggers now lead 21-0. And with the Roaring Fork gaining possession of the football at the 31 and with all their timeouts remaining and with 3:52 to go in the second, they can get on the scoreboard before the break. Backs it an eye. Aaron Markham, the quarterback, with receivers split to the left and right. Hands off right side. This is Trevor Hunt, a big hole outside of the 35, brought down at the 37 by Michael Cummings. It's a gain of 6. And had Hunt had some speed, he could have had a lot more yardage.
Yeah, he had plenty of ground to go there. And the thing was, it wasn't like a really fast play. It wasn't like a play that had a lot of deception. It was just a play that had a lot of good blocking, and the Roaring Fork guys had all the brush defenders shielded off from the play, and Hunt just followed it with a good run.
2nd down and 4 to go. Roaring Fork at their own 37. Again, receivers split left and right. More than likely a running play, and this will be a give off to the left side to Trevor Hunt running wide. He's at the 40-yard line, down at the 42. maybe the 43, a pickup of 6 on the play. It appeared that Digger was in the backfield, and I don't know if he couldn't get to him or just didn't see Hunt with the football.
Yeah, that was Tedford, and Tedford had a ton of penetration. He was right there, could have made the play, and he ran right by him. And I think what happened is Markham's just making some good fakes there in the backfield, and Tedford got caught watching Markham instead of watching the guy running towards him, and he brushed his shoulder right when he ran by him.
1st and 10, Roaring Fork at their own 43-yard line. Back to throw as Markham sets up deep down the right sideline. Man wide open, caught at the 37-yard line by Parker Nieslanik. A first down. The tackle was made by Dustin Bass. But it's a big gainer, and we'll give him 20 yards.
Tell you what, Nieslanik has got some good hands. The 3 catches that he's been able to make, every one of them was up in the air, and some he had to jump up in the air and kind of dive for it to come down with, and he sure does it. And that time Brush was in a cover too, and they just got caught as their free safety had a hard time getting over there in time to help out with the coverage.
Nieslanik and Harris, the receivers to the left on 1st and 10 from the Beat Digger 37. A give. Nope, there's going to be a pitch left. This is Trevor Hunt, breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage. However, Michael Cummings has him at the 35-yard line. He lowered his head and grabbed him around the ankles to bring him down. It's a gain of 2. 2nd down and 8. Time could become a factor here. 2:12 to go, second quarter, but Roaring Fork, with only 35 yards to go, does have all 3 timeouts remaining.
And they're using their running game, and you know what they're using it for. They got to run the ball once in a while because that's what's going to set up the play action. That's probably accounted for most of the yards that Markham's had this year.
2nd down and 8 from the 35-yard line, and this will be a give right up the middle to Bowman. Michael Cummings again with a tackle to around the 31. A gain of 4, 3rd down and 4. Roaring Fork here, if they take too much time in the huddle, Dave, they're going to have to call a timeout rather soon because we're looking under a minute 40 to go. Second quarter, Beat Diggers lead 21-0 live from Beat Digger Stadium. John Beltran with Dave Urig on KSIR.com and KSIR. Checking into the game is Bowman after he sat out. Well, I don't know if he sat out for a play or he just went over to the sideline to gain some instructions. 3rd down and 4 from the Beat Digger 31. Bowman with a football up the gut, and he dives to around the 28 before he's tackled, I believe, by Spencer Garrett. 4th and 1. The gain is 3. I can't believe they're not calling a timeout, Dave. We are under a minute to go.
I can't believe they didn't throw it on that last play. With the quarterback that's got the kind of numbers Markham has, you don't need very many timeouts when you got a guy like that can throw it on the numbers.
4th and 1 to go for the Beat Digger 28. We're at 45 seconds to go. Handoff, Bowman. He's hit at the line of scrimmage by Geno. They're trying to drive him back. He's not going to get the first down, Dave.
No, I don't think he even got back to the line of scrimmage, if that.
And that should be the Beat Digger football and the change of possession. Yeah, they held him. They're not even going to measure here. No gain. Geno was the first one in there, but all of a sudden, as soon as they saw Geno in there came Dustin Bass and several other Beat Diggers to drive him back. And quite frankly, Dave, I just think that was atrocious clock management.
I think it was too. And, the other thing is with the way the Brush defensive line's controlling the line of scrimmage, Roaring Fork tried to run an ISO right there and lead it back through the hole. Well, there's no hole there anyway, so what happened to Bowman is he ran right up to the hole, and it was plugged because his own blocking back was right there in the way in front of him, and so that was one of the things that was the problem for them. They probably needed to just hand it off quick to him or maybe even run that option again.
Well, now the Beat Diggers have called a timeout. We'll keep it right here, a Corf Continental timeout. We remind you to stop by and see Randy Getman, Bob Frazier, or Levi Bauer at Corf Continental. Hometown deals with a big city selection at Corf Continental. Now, how aggressive with 40 seconds to go with a football at your own 28 do you get here, Dave, knowing you have a 21-0 lead, also knowing you don't get the football first in the second half?
I'll tell you what, I think you go for the end zone, try to get that 4-point lead, and, maybe that's a little bit crazy, but I just don't see Roaring Fork so far anything defensive. They haven't made a mark defensively yet. They haven't stopped anything Brush has tried to do.
Coverage is soft, too. 1st and 10 for the 28. Ely looking to throw. Lobs it down the left sideline. Gutierrez out there. And did he catch the football? No, he was out of bounds. He caught it, but he was out of bounds at the 46 of Roaring Fork. Oh, so close, Dave. Oh, so close.
Yeah, right when he caught it, his foot, I knew that it was going to be really close because his second foot down was definitely out of bounds. The official had to make a decision whether he had control of the ball inbounds or out of bounds, and they didn't go with his back foot on that one. But it was a beautifully thrown ball by Ely and a beautiful catch by Gutierrez. It was just a little bit wide.
You got to do this again if they're one-on-one coverage. Second down and 8, or 10, I should say, from the Beat Digger 28. Leading 21-0, 34 seconds to go in the second. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Geno, the lone setback. He'll get the football on the draw play to the 30 and down at the 31. Tripped up by Bowman. It's a gain of 3. A timeout is called, and the Beat Diggers did take it, which means it'll be a 3rd down and 7, and we'll take it with them. Brush 21, Roaring Fork 0. We return in 30 on 10-10 KSIR. Persley in motion to the right. Ely back to throw, looking deep over the middle. Complete to Dwight at the 43. Breaks the tackle. He's got to try to get out of bounds. He doesn't, and the clock should stop here with a movement of the chains as he's down at the 50-yard line, tackled by Aaron Markham. But a big play for the Beat Diggers. That officially is a gain of 19 and a first down.
Yeah, Dwight, he dove. Boy, he tried to get to the sideline. He just couldn't do it.
Yeah, the clock is now winding. 12 seconds to go. Ely slowly up to the line of scrimmage with 9. Ely looking to throw. Backside pressure. Throws out to the right. Incomplete. Might have been batted down, intended for Persley. We have 6 seconds to go, and now a late flag, and that might be against Greg Geno. A late hit on a Roaring Fork player out there, and that means the Beat Diggers should just take a knee and completely end this half, Dave.
I'll tell you what, Geno cannot do that. One thing he's got to think is not only is the 15 yards detrimental to the drive of the offense, but it's also detrimental to himself. What happens if official deems that a severe enough thing that warrants an ejection? And that could happen on any unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. What happens if he isn't in the game next week against Kent Denver, assuming Brush wins this thing?
Or Faith Christian. But now I know your prediction. First down, and it'll be second down actually now, and 25 for the Beat Diggers at their own 35. 6 seconds to go in the second quarter. Well, they have receivers split left and right. I would think this is a simple handoff at this point. Ely, back to throw, pumping. Now he's got to run out of pressure. He's sacked back at the 25-yard line, and he's sacked by Tyler Hunt, and the half comes to an end. A loss of 9 yards on the play. But the Beat Diggers dominate the opening half. Brush 21, Roaring Fork 0 at halftime. Back in 3 minutes on 10-10 KSIR. 21-0 as we begin the third quarter of play. The Beat Diggers utilizing a very effective ground game behind Greg Geno, who's on pace for nearly 200 yards. Had close to 100, obviously, in the opening half. Geno with a couple of scores. And the other one from Nick Dreitz, a 4-yard pass. And that pass, of course, from Matt Ely. Once again, before we go to the third quarter, we'll just give you some of the partials we had. 6-man championship at halftime. High Plains over Revere, 16-6. In the 8-man semifinals, Stratton leading Haxton 8-6 in the second. Marina over Swink, 7-0 in the second. In Class A, Lyman over Crowley County late in the second, 28-0. Dolores leading Del Norte, 14-13. And in Class 2A, Ken Denver and Faith Christian deadlocked at 6 in the second. Bennett 9, Holy Family 7 in the second. Nothing yet on Eaton and Roosevelt. We'll do our best to give you scores of the games that we can get to during the second half of this Beat Digger contest against Roaring Fork. Regardless of what happens here with the Beat Diggers winning, they would travel next week. They would either go to Ken Denver or to Faith Christian, because the Beat Diggers have had 2 consecutive home games to begin the 2004 playoffs. Beat Diggers will kick off here to begin the second half. And it'll be interesting to see, Dave, what strategy Roaring Fork implements offensively. They were almost too patient, I think, at times in the first half.
Yeah, I knew that they were going to come in throwing the ball quite a bit, and they had several. They only threw the ball 5 times, but they only had a total of like 20 plays total. So they threw a quarter of the times. But the thing is they have to, with all their offense so far, they have to use their running game to set their passing game up, because everything's been play action. We haven't seen him drop straight back to pass yet today. He's not one time has he ever just done a 5-step drop and thrown the ball there. Everything's been set up with play action stuff. So Who knows what they're going to do? I can guess that they're going to come out and try to score fast. They're going to have the wind at their back as Brush is elected to kick into the wind and try to make sure that they have the wind at their back in the fourth quarter. So you can bet that they're going to come out throwing the ball and trying to score as fast as they can and try to shell-shock Brush and get that Brush defense and entire Brush team on their heels.
This third quarter kickoff brought to you by Ackley Building Center. Munoz boots that football high and short. It's going to be fumbled at the 20-yard line, still loose, and Christian Tenna is able to land on it at the 22-yard line. I mean, didn't Roaring Fork see this before? And they weren't ready for it again, Dave.
Yeah, it was just a really high kick into the wind, and the ball kind of died there, and Tenna came running up there, and it looked like he didn't catch the ball with his hands. It looked like the first thing the ball came in contact with was his belly button, and it just bounced through his hands and right onto the ground, and Josh Hunt was right there almost in time to come up with the fumble.
Officially at the 23-yard line, 1st and 10 for Roaring Fork. They were shut out in the opening half, but they do have an explosive offense. In a shotgun formation, the quarterback, Aaron Markham, is back to throw, looking right towards the sideline, complete at the 28-yard line, and knocked out of bounds. That pass was caught by Parker Nieslanik. It'll be a gain of 5, 2nd down and 5 to go, and I think Roaring Fork actually wants to extend the game, especially if they start throwing sideline.
Yeah, you can bet they want to keep as much time on the clock as they possibly can and try to make sure they give themselves plenty of opportunity to score. But on that last play, they came out with 2 receivers on each side, and Brush disguised their defense. They had Travis Bass, who was playing really deep, run up close to their inside guy, and he blocked him really hard, and then he ran out and made the tackle on the quick out that Nieslanik ran.
Yeah, that play took only 5 seconds, and they did go out of bounds. 2nd down and 5 to go. The football at the 28-yard line. Baxton and Jake Bowman, the fullback, is the D-back. He has the football. No, it's going to be thrown deep down the middle. Caught. This should be a touchdown. A 30-yard line to the 20. The same receiver, Nieslanik, left sideline now, 5, touchdown. That goes the distance, 72 yards. And, Dave, you can bet the Beat Diggers were as fooled as I was. It's now 21-6 Brush. That
time J.J. Pursley was playing the corner over here, and Brush was in a cover 3, and they have to make sure that nobody gets deeper than them. And the quarterback for Roaring Fork, Markham, did a really good play action, and J.J. came running up to stop the run. And by that time, Nieslanik was 15 yards past him, and it was an easy score for Roaring Fork.
Dave, a 16-second drive. That's what we're talking about here, extending the game. And this will be the extra point to be attempted. Christian Tenna to attempt the extra point. I'm not sure who was the closest beat digger to the coverage, but it really didn't matter because he had the nearest defender beaten by about 5 yards. The kick is up, and that kick is going to be good by Christian Tenna. 11:40 to go, third quarter. Brush 21, Roaring Fork 7 on KSIR.com and 1010 KSIR. A 2-play, 77-yard drive. Aaron Markham to Parker Nieslanik. And just like that, Roaring Fork, 16 seconds on that drive. Trails 21-7. The kickoff fielded by Pursley at the 12. To his left, back to his right, across the 25 to the 30. He's got the sideline to the 35, now dragged down by Jake Bowman right there, a return of 23, as Nieslanik also assisted on the tackle. And as we mentioned during halftime, Dave, the Beat Diggers just have to match them touchdown for touchdown, and they'll be in good shape.
You bet. And as they're matching them touchdown for touchdown, it sure wouldn't hurt if they establish a long 10-play drive to get down the field and eat the clock up.
1st and 10 Brush. The football at their own 35-yard line, just past the 35. This is almost like Brush getting the football first in the second half because there's still 11:32 to go. Matt Ely under center. The backs are split. Ely will hand it off to Geno, and he runs right into the line of scrimmage. Right side of that Roaring Fork defensive line was ready for Greg Geno, and Jake Bowman brings him down. 2nd and 10.
Brush has really got to make sure that they're not satisfied with their performance in the first half and come out and play this thing just like the score was 0-0. They need to play right now like the score is 0-7, actually, and be really aggressive. And that time I saw the Roaring Fork defensive line starting to stem. They were moving all over the place and kind of screwed it up for the offensive line. They didn't know who to block.
Second down and 10. The Beat Diggers at their own 35-yard line. And this will be Ely with a pitch right to Anthony Hurt. He's not going to get the block to free himself up. He still breaks a tackle, gets to around the 37-yard line. Again, Bowman in on the play, joined by other Rams. And we'll give him a couple of yards. Third down and 8. But right now, the Beat Diggers looking very similarly to the way they did on their opening drive when they were 3 and out.
Yeah, it's like they just couldn't hold on to a block. That time Brian Finley came running out here, and so did Nick Dreitz to try to seal everything off for Hurt, but neither one of them held on to their block long enough to give Hurt a chance to get around the outside.
Let's see if Matt Ely can rescue the Beat Diggers. A handoff to Geno, and he's going to break a tackle, but he's going to be down at the 40-yard line. A pickup of 3 as the play is made over there by Roaring Fork's Cody Jeffries, and the Beat Diggers with a 4th and 5 will be forced to punt. And I know a draw play can work many times, but Roaring Fork hasn't been able to cover a Brush receiver today, and I'm a little surprised they didn't throw, but then again, might be Monday morning quarterbacking.
Right, and there's a pretty strong wind Brush would be throwing against, and you have to remember the number of interceptions Ely's thrown this year, and Brush sure doesn't want to turn it over.
And we're going to have penalty flags down, and that could be against Brush because of that hard count on 4th and a long 5. And let's see if the referee's going to determine that a Beat Digger did move there. This is something you talked about a few weeks ago when you have those jerky motions, and a lot of times it's the offense which is penalized. But no, Dave, it will be the defense. 3 Rams came across. Now it'll be 4th down and about 1 to go from the 45-yard line, and now that changes everything.
Yeah, I almost think that Brush might do the same thing, just go with a hard count and see if they can't draw Roaring Fork offsides. I see Dustin Bass running on the field there. Brush must have decided to call a different play and do something a little different than what he was expecting.
4th and 1 from the 45-yard line. The Beat Diggers are going for it. Ely quarterback sneak, and he could get a first down. However, the Beat Diggers did move. A Beat Digger did move in the backfield, Dave. Illegal shift.
And that happens, when you got like Dustin there. There's the jump off sides, and originally they were thinking there was going to be a punt, and the players weren't ready to really go for it. And then Matt's got to do a better job of coming up to the line of scrimmage and making sure he's the captain and make sure everybody's set where they need to be before they snap the ball.
Well, now it's 4th down and 6 again, so we're right back to where we were about a few seconds ago. And now J.J. Pursley will punt for Brush. Roaring Fork has nobody back yet. Jake Bowman now is going to run back there along with Christian Tenna. And the snap is perfect. Pursley gets it off a high, very short punt against the wind, lands at the 50, takes a Roaring Fork roll, and down right there by Nick Dreitz, but only a 10-yard punt, Dave, and that's not unexpected considering they're kicking against the wind.
Right, but I'll tell you one thing, JJ's got to kick that thing out of there, and that time he kicked it off his shin. You could tell because the ball was spinning the opposite way that it's supposed to spin, if it's going to spin it all in the air, and JJ's just got to do a better job of getting that ball out of there and do a better job of punting.
9:05 to go third quarter, The Beat Diggers leading 21-7. Roaring Fork has already scored in this half. In a shotgun formation, Markham looking to throw, deep drop, pumps, rolling to his right, and Greg Geno has him. He throws in the run, intercepted the 50, left sideline to the 40. Here is Michael Cummings to the 30-yard line, inside the 25 to around the 24. As Jake Bowman is able to bring him down, a return of 28 yards on the interception, and that was forced by Geno.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, I was talking to some of the coaches earlier this week, and they said that if they could change up some coverages and put some pressure on Markham, they thought that they could get him to make some mistakes. And that time that was a huge mistake because he just kind of forced the ball out of there. He was trying to avoid the sack and threw it right to Michael Cummings, and Michael had the kind of interception that every defender dreams about.
There's the handoff to Geno. Boy, he's going nowhere, Dave. They're bringing up 7 to the box there. No gain at the Roaring Fork 24-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 10. And I know Greg Geno's a great back, but even he needs some blocking.
Right, and Roaring Fork's I think they're just deciding, to heck with the passing game, to heck with the counters, to heck with the outside game. We're just going to stop Geno, and then after we stop him, we'll worry about stopping everything else. And so Brush is going to have to dig into their bags of tricks and see if they can't come up with some offense that'll work.
And Brian Finley apparently has an equipment problem. He's going to come off the field, and Cameron Alexander will check in. This was an official's timeout. Second down and 10 from the 24. Dave, I would not be surprised to see a pass on this play. I mean, the Beat Diggers are trying to open this a short pass. I know they're against the wind, but even a short pass here. The backs are split, and Ely looking to throw. Back to throw. Here comes the pressure. Tries to run around it. Slips out of a tackle. Throws, and that's going to be out of bounds. Well out of bounds to J.J. Persley at around the 17-yard line. It'll be third down and 10, and Roaring Fork did a great job of defending that play as Trevor Hunt was around the football, as was Jake Bowman.
But it was also a good play because it forced Roaring Fork sent a whole bunch of people again rushing. It made those guys run in there, and now they got to think about the pass a little bit more, and maybe that'll open up the run game for Brush because they're in four-down territory here.
Third down and 10. Again, 5 in the box here for Roaring Fork. The Beat Diggers with a football at the 24-yard line with a back split. And Ely this time will pitch right to Anthony Hurt. Has a seam to the outside of the 22, out to the 21-yard line, and knocked out of bounds. They'll give him the 20. It's a gain of 4, a fourth down and 6. Excellent pursuit over there by Roaring Fork's Tyler Hunt, the sophomore. And now the Beat Diggers with no decision here. They will go for it on 4th and 6 from the 20. A field goal at this level is just not possible, especially with the wind going against them. 8:02 to go in the third quarter. Beat Diggers leading Roaring Fork 21-7. The receiver to the left is Josh Gutierrez, and now the officials have stopped play for a second, I guess to reset the football. The mark to make is the Roaring Fork 14. On 4th down and 6, Ely under center is going to bootleg out to the left. He's going to need a couple of blocks. He gets one at the 20, spins to the 15. He's not going to get the first down, though. Down at around the 15-yard line. Needed a second block. He was brought down. He needed 6. He got 5, and with 7:54 to go in the third. That's a big tackle over there. Not sure who made it for Roaring Fork all the way across the field, but Roaring Fork now with the football.
I'm sure Matt Ely would like to have that one over again because he needed to know that he needed 5 yards, and he was kind of dancing around out there. And usually when you run a bootleg or any kind of sweep on 4th down, you see the chains and the flags over there, and you're that running back. You're just running dead for that thing. You're not trying to dance around. You don't try to fool anybody. You just try to dive for that stake and get the first down. And that time he did a little bit too much shaking and baking and turning back and spinning, and he didn't get upfield.
1st and 10 for Roaring Fork at their own 15. 2 receivers to the left and right. Markham in a shotgun formation with a Bowman to his right. Hands off to Bowman, and he stutter steps out to the right side across the 30-yard line, and he's brought down at the 31. Brought down by Dustin Bass, but it's a gain of 16 and a first down after starting left and maneuvering to his right.
Yeah, Bowman showed some speed there that time. That's the first time we've seen that out of him, and this Roaring Fork offense is awake.
Without a doubt, the Beat Diggers have forced 3 turnovers today. They've not committed any of their own. With a football at the 31. 1st and 10 for Roaring Fork. Again, shotgun formation. Markham this time is going to run the football, and he's going to get pasted at the 30 by Greg Geno. A loss of 1. Tyson Kroll also with penetration, looking to run the quarterback draw, but there was no hole there.
Yeah, Geno read that thing perfectly, flew up in there and made the hit. And once the initial contact happened, I couldn't even tell if Geno wrapped up with him or not because there was such an explosion. There was just bodies flying everywhere.
2nd down and 11. Well, it was Geno that had the quarterback pressure last time. That forced the interception. Now 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. And Markham looking to throw, and he throws towards the sideline, incomplete, actually more towards the middle at the 47-yard line, intended for Parker Nieslanik, but the throw about 2 yards high. Dustin Bass was defending.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the Roaring Fork had 3 receivers over here, and now it's kind of obvious they're going to go to Markham. They just used the trips over here as a decoy. And
to Nieslanik, yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't blame Brush if they put 2 guys on Nieslanik and dared him to throw the ball to anybody else.
With 6:53 to go in the third, Beat Diggers leading 21-7. 3rd down and 11. Roaring Fork at their own 30-yard line. Again, 3 receivers out to the left. And Nieslanik is out to the right. Markham looking to throw. Pressure coming towards the sideline. The pass is incomplete through the hands of Christian Tenna towards that left sideline at the 40. And David looked like he had alligator arms there.
Yeah, he was just slapping at the ball. And if he catches it, it's going to be a first down. And I think what happened is he heard footsteps from Travis Bass as Travis was closing in there. And Travis didn't get the kind of hit on him he probably wanted to get on him, but it was still just enough to keep him from concentrating on the football.
Okay, now Christian Tenna will punt. He'll be inside his own 20-yard line with Dustin Bass and Josh Gutierrez waiting to receive. Snap is there. Tenna gets it off. End-over-end punt. Lands at the 36 of Brush. Picked up by Bass at the 27. Breaks a couple of tackles, but he's down at the 31. The special teams play was made by Skylar McAllister, a junior. And now is the time for Brush to go on that lengthy, time-consuming drive you were talking about, Dave, because it appeared that Roaring Fork's offense was going to get into rhythm, but apparently it was just that one big play, and the offense has not gotten into rhythm. But the Beat Diggers' offense their rhythm is still a little shaky here in the second half. Right,
and one thing's for sure is Brush wants to at least make sure they get downfield far enough so when they do punt the ball, they can make Roaring Fork be up against their own end zone, because everybody knows JJ's only averaged about 10 to 20 yards a punt in the last 3 weeks.
From the 31, 1st and 10, Gutierrez in motion to the right, has the handoff on the end around. He's at the 32, and he's down right there as Trevor Hunt made the play. Gutierrez wants a face mask, but we're not going to get one.
Yeah, I could see there was a face mask on that. It was incidental, but it was a face mask for sure, and I guarantee Gutierrez wanted that thing because that would have helped that play out as he only was able to pick up about 1.5 yards.
When the ball is snapped, we'll be exactly halfway through the third quarter. Brush leading by 14 points. 2nd down and 9 from their own 32-yard line. Geno, the lone setback. 2 receivers left and right. Geno has the handoff. 0. Again, about 4 Rams to make the tackle. And it would take a while to name all the Rams, but either the Beat Diggers didn't block there or they just came up to the line of scrimmage and had so many men that the Beat Diggers didn't have enough men to block the Roaring Fork players.
Yeah, you would have had to read off every single name of their defensive roster to include everybody that helped out on that tackle.
3rd and 9 to go as Brush with the football at their own 32. Again, Geno, the lone setback. And there was movement by Roaring Fork, and now we have a flag. 2 Rams moved on the hard count. I'm not sure if a Beat Digger drew them off. And it will be offsides against Brush. Oh, correction, it will be against Roaring Fork. The initial indication, which was wrong, was against Brush. But now that'll go from a 3rd and 9 to a 3rd and 4. And that does not eliminate a running play now, Dave.
No, now that opens up makes their offense a little bit more usable. And Brush just lucked out with the Roaring Fork players showing a little bit of undisciplined action there. And they just jumped because the Brush wide receiver that was going in motion, he took off in motion, and their defensive end just took off running.
From the 37, 3rd and 4, again movement by Roaring Fork, no flag. Ely hands off to Geno, hit at the line of scrimmage, and back towards the middle. He's down right there. Again, Trevor Hunt makes the play after Jake Bowman came through with a penetration. 4th down and 4. Maybe the Beat Diggers are going to have to try to beat them on the outside, Dave, because obviously Roaring Fork is clogging the middle.
Yeah, they're blitzing guys in there, and they're doing some stunts with their defensive linemen. And in the first half, we were able to talk about how the offensive line and the defensive line of Brush was controlling the line of scrimmage. In this half so far, it's a little different story.
4th and 4, and the Beat Diggers to punt. J.J. Persley at his own 25, got the snap, and here comes the rush. He gets it off, and that's headed towards the Brush sideline, bounces at the 48, and back to the 50 as it took a Roaring Fork roll. And again, not a very long punt. So Roaring Fork with a football after a punt of only 13 yards.
I'll tell you what, I hate to say it, but I wonder if Brush has anybody else that can punt the ball, because J.J. is really struggling today.
Well, right at midfield, Roaring Fork with only 50 yards to go, and they could draw to within a touchdown. 4:21 to go in the third quarter. Brush 21, Roaring Fork 7. And there are 3 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. That's Nieslanik, the lone man out to the left in a shotgun formation. Markham back to throw, out to the right, complete to 10 at the 45. First down to the 40, inside the 40 to the 39, a gain of 11. The tackle was made by Dustin Bass. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Roaring Fork at the 39. And the Beat Diggers are probably just going to have to bring pressure, Dave. Either that or cover them a little bit tighter, because right now Roaring Fork looking pretty good.
Yeah, they are, and Brush has just got to get some depth into that backfield.
1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. Shotgun, Markham looking to throw, pumping deep down the left sideline. That one is picked off by Gutierrez. Oh, he dropped it. He was hit at the 21-yard line, and the collision was with Tyler Hunt. And because of that collision, Gutierrez could not secure the football, but it would have been the 4th turnover committed by Roaring Fork.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Gutierrez almost came up with that thing, and the big reason that happens is because Tedford had such great pressure over here from his right defensive end position. He was running in there with his hands up, and then he was able to put a shoulder pad right in Markham's belly right after he released the ball.
2nd down and 10, Roaring Fork for the Brush 39-yard line. Still anybody's ball game, even though Brush leads by 14 points. Markham on the option will pitch it left. The ball is loose, and now it's picked up by Bowman. And now he's got positive yardage to the 35, breaking tackles to the 30, right sideline 20. He could score at the 10. He's headed around the 7-yard line. A fluke play. Spencer Garrett and Josh Gutierrez make the tackle, but that busted play results in a 1st down and a gain of 32.
You know, the reason things like that happen is because guys quit. That time, Brush figured, it's a bunch of the players probably saw that, he was down. They thought he was down. They thought he was in trouble, and he wasn't able to he wasn't able to get the pitch. But then he turned around and turned it into a huge gain after the Diggers all quit playing defense.
1st and goal at the 6. Baxton and I. Markham to hand it off to Christian Tenna. He's inside the 5 to around the 4. Michael Cummings and Tyson Crawl make the tackle. It's a gain of 2. 2nd down and goal. And we have tons of time remaining in this game. We're still in the 3rd quarter, 3:22 to go. The Beat Digger offense held in check so far in this quarter, despite starting one of their drives at the Roaring Fork 24. 2nd and goal from the 4. 2 receivers out to the right. The backs are split. And Markham this time will hand it off to Tenna in the middle. He spun down at around the 3, maybe the 2, by Cummings. They'll give him the 2-yard line. 3rd down and goal, and now the Beat Diggers are going to have to play their best defense of the season if they're going to keep Roaring Fork out of the end zone.
And that's a hard thing to do when a team runs an option as well as Roaring Fork does. Markham does a good job of not letting anybody know where that ball is.
3rd and goal from the 2. The Beat Digger fans now getting excited about this one. In the backfield, Hunt and Bowman, the quarterback. Markham, there was nearly movement to Bowman. He dives over the pile and scores. A 2-yard dive by Jake Bowman. And Roaring Fork back in the game with 2:21 to go. They trail 21-13.
Yep, Roaring Fork is back in the game with a lot of momentum.
And now Christian Tenna to attempt the extra point. And Bowman nearly moved a little bit too early, but got away with it. And here we go with Tenna to attempt the extra point. A big extra point, perfect snap. That kick is up. That kick is good. Wasn't pretty. It was barely over the crossbar, but it was good. 2:21 remaining, 3rd quarter. Brush 21, Roaring Fork 14 on 10-10 KSIR. A 6-play, 50-yard drive in 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Jake Bowman scores from 2 yards away, and now the kickoff to J.J. Persley at the 12. Straight ahead to the 25, out to the 30, breaking a tackle. They're trying to strip the football, but not successful as he's down at the 32. The kicker, Clayton Klingon, is able to make the play. And Dave, the Beat Diggers just want to get to the 4th quarter with the lead and the wind at their back. They're 2 minutes and 13 seconds away from doing so, but they've got to block somebody.
Yeah, they haven't been blocking anybody. And, just right there on that kick return, I saw a whole lot of Roaring Fork guys making tackles and a whole lot of Brush guys watching it happen.
The Beat Diggers, in their last 7 games, have outscored their opponents, but they will not do it here unless they put together an offensive onslaught. 1st and 10, Geno across the left side, hit at the line of scrimmage, breaks a tackle, still on his feet, across the 35 to the 37-yard line. The pickup of 5 on the play, 2nd down and 5. Parker Nislanik made the tackle.
You know, a lot of times you see that happen with the Denver Broncos all the time. You know, they get a big lead in the first half and then just kind of let it go and think the game was over just because they got such a big lead. And now Brush has got to wake up here and put some more points on the board so that Roaring Fork doesn't gain any more momentum.
2nd down and 5 to go from the 37-yard line. The backs in an eye. That's Geno and Anthony Hurt. Now they split. Gutierrez, the lone receiver, to the right. And Ely this time, play action, looking to throw. Here comes the pressure underneath. The pass caught by Dry to the 40, and he's down at the 41-yard line. A pickup of 4. Aaron Markham to make the tackle. Ooh, that spot's a little shaky. It's almost closer to the 40. Oh, we'll give him 3. 3rd down and a long 2. Big play right now with 1:10 to go in the 3rd.
The bad thing about that spot was his whole body was on the upfield side of the 40-yard line, so you know he had more than a half a yard as he was running with the ball.
Yeah, that spot is pretty shaky. Very, very shaky. 3rd down and 2 at the 40. Under a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. Beat Diggers up 21-14. Ely, quarterback sneak. He's got enough momentum for a 1st down. It surprised Roaring Fork, obviously, because they didn't touch him until he got 2 yards past the line of scrimmage. In fact, it was a 3-yard sneak, and the Beat Diggers continued the drive.
Yeah, that was a great job by Ely that time. He knew what kind of yards he needed, and if you watched him, he was really low. He got up behind the center, and he stayed really low, kept his body leaned forward. He was right on top of his knees as he ran straight ahead and picked up the 1st down, and that might be the biggest 1st down of the game.
Yeah, because this should be the final play of the 3rd quarter if the Beat Diggers keep the football somewhat in the middle of the field. We're under 30 seconds to go. And Ely on the counter to Persley, running left back towards the middle. Fumbles the football at the 45, and I believe Roaring Fork has jumped on it at the 43-yard line. No, the Beat Diggers fell on it. The Beat Diggers fell on it, and it was Zach Tedford who saved the day for Brush. But instead of a 2-yard gain, it's going to be about a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, JJ's got to hold on to that ball, boy. I'll tell you what, the backs of Brush, whether it's quarterbacks, receivers, running backs, whatever it is, they got to take care of the football because turnovers are what got them in the position that they're in, and they don't want to create any turnovers of their own to put them back where they were before the game started.
The Beat Diggers were outscored in that 3rd quarter, 14-0. Brush leads 21-14 going to the 4th on 10-10 KSIR. That 40-yard line to the 44 to Greg Geno. It'll be a gain of 2, 3rd down and 9. John Beltran along with Dave Urig on KSIR and KSIR.com. Brush leading 21-14, but it was 21-0 at halftime, and Roaring Fork with all the offensive and defensive momentum at this point. Big play. The Beat Diggers do have the wind at their back in the 4th. Gutierrez, the receiver, to the right. 3rd and 9. Ely back to throw. Here comes the pressure. He's trying to run out of it. He's going to be sacked at the 37-yard line. He had no shot right there. 3 Rams were right there to meet him, including Trevor Hunt and Pat Amborn, and it's going to be a loss of about 7.
Yeah, that time the Rams just kept doing what they did the whole 3rd quarter, and that is they're sending everybody. Boy, they're blitzing 2 linebackers, and they're sending corners, and guys are coming from all over the place, and Ely just had a lot of pressure on him, and he couldn't break away from anything.
J.J. Persley to punt. He's at his own 26-yard line. And the snap is there. He gets it off. Pretty good punt that time. It's going to bounce at the 25-yard line. Bowman with a monumental mistake. He could have caught that in the air. The Beat Diggers down it at the 12-yard line. That was just a brutal mistake, a punt of 50 yards because of that roll.
And Roaring Fork was playing that win, too, because they had Bowman back, but everybody else was up there to block that kick, and the Diggers' offensive line did a good job of holding everybody out long enough for J.J. to get that punt off.
Defense wins championships. It's up to the Beat Diggers now to play some defense and not allow Roaring Fork to tie this game. 21-14 Brush with 10:42 to go from Beat Digger Stadium. That was the margin of victory. That was an identical score a week ago against St. Mary's. Aaron Markham, the quarterback, under center with the backs in an eye, is going to hand the football left side to Hunt. Slips the tackle, is down at around the 15-yard line by Michael Cummings. A gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. And I believe now, Dave, that Roaring Fork's going to be patient here.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to throw the ball that well against this strong wind. And it's not like Markham's, like we said before, has been making all the best choices. His hasn't been exactly on the money, and they're going to have to rely on their running game a little bit more this quarter.
2nd down and 7 to go. Roaring Fork at their own 15. 2 receivers to the left and right in a shotgun formation. Markham is going to pitch it left. There'll be a slot to the outside, a big gap for Christian Tenna, breaking tackles, and he's to the 30-yard line. A gain of 15 and a Rams first down.
That time, right after he got the shotgun, he just really quick, like you would an option, he just really quick attacked the defensive end and pitched it. And then the Brush DBs just allowed themselves to get blocked. The defenders were getting into their body. Nobody came up to help make the tackle.
From the 30-yard line, the Beat Diggers have been shut out in this second half so far. 1st and 10 for Roaring Fork on their own side of the field. Markham in a shotgun, the option right. He's got the pitch over to Bowman, and he's going to be nailed. And the fumble, and the Beat Diggers have it at the 34-yard line, unless they're saying it was down, but I think he fumbled it before he hit the ground. What is the ruling? Let's see if the Beat Diggers get the football, I believe, and they get it. They do get the football, and was that Dustin Bass jumping on the football at the 34 after Bowman was nailed? I believe it was. A gain of 4, but that doesn't matter for Roaring Fork. The Beat Diggers do finally have the ball.
Yeah, and they got a chance to get a couple of first downs, take some time off the clock, and score a touchdown. But the one thing for sure is the Diggers got to get fired up. They got to get themselves back to the way they were at the beginning of the game and play this thing like they're behind and really get after Roaring Fork and finally start pounding some nails in the coffin. 1st and 10 for Brush. At the 34, Geno right up the gut. Again, just struggling for yardage, but that time was strong enough to get to the 30-yard line. And Bowman and Trevor Hunt, the first 2 Rams, as has been the case most of this game, in on the play, 2nd down and 6. And Geno was hit right at the line of scrimmage, and he just kept driving and driving and driving and spinning, and he fell forward for the last 2 yards on that, and that was probably the biggest gain they've had this half so far.
9:10 to go in the game. The Beat Diggers leading 21-14 on 2nd and 6. Hurd in motion to the right. Here's Geno again across the left side, and he was barely tripped up as he got near the 36-yard line. That was an odd play, Dave, because when he went down, he was all by himself. There were no Rams around there. I think somebody just got him at around the line of scrimmage, but it is a gain of 4.
Right, he running with his feet really close to the ground and kind of shuffling, not getting his feet up. It's allowing the Roaring Fork defenders to slide an arm in there and create some shoelace tackles, because you're right. If he busted through there, if he would have kept his feet, that would have been a big gain, maybe even a touchdown.
3rd and 2 at the 26-yard line. Pursley in motion to the right. Ely hands off to Geno across the left side, fighting for additional yardage, carrying defenders, and he fumbles the football, but I believe Brush was able to recover the football at the 22-yard line, and that would be a first down for the Beat Diggers. Dustin Bass again saving the day for the Beat Diggers. And they have the first down officially. It's a gain of 4.
I see Geno's got his head down out there and his hands on his knees. Again, I'm not sure he's feeling very well.
Well, we saw that last week, and we asked Coach Trites, and he said he was just way too tired. But who knows, Dave? At this point, I think you have to run on adrenaline when it's playoff football.
Right. This could be his last game of his high school career. I hope he's not that tired.
1st down and 10. The Beat Diggers at the 22-yard line. In motion to the right is Nick Dreitz. Ely is going to pitch it right to Anthony Hurt, getting a block from Dreitz to the outside of the 20, still on his feet and knocked out of bounds at around maybe the 15-yard line, a pickup of close to 7. And, Dave, that was one block and speed.
You bet. Hurt just got that pitch and just made a decision probably before he ever even got it that he was going to race to the sideline. And once he got to the sideline, there wasn't enough Roaring Fork defenders there. He turned it upfield for that 7-yard carry. But, that wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for the threat that Greg Geno's created in the first couple of first downs there.
Stay tuned after the game. We'll have a scoreboard show with Marcus Kammer. Glenwood Springs leading Sterling at halftime, 10-7 in the 3A opening round playoff game. The winner of this game faces Faith Christian or Ken Denver. Those 2 teams were tied in the second at 6. We'll get an updated score hopefully during the second half. As for this game, the Beat Diggers were up 21-0. And, it's scary to think, Dave, they could win this game, and they might not win it by a big margin despite having a 4-0 edge in turnovers.
Well, that is a scary thought.
I mean, you want to dominate and win. If you're going to have a 4-0 edge in turnovers with you taking away 4, obviously you want to win by about 3 or 4 touchdowns, not by 7 or 14 points.
Right. And, the big thing that's scary is the fact that, remember, Roaring Fork comes out and they score like in the first 10 seconds of the second half, and so they have the ability to have only 2 plays and keep the score tight.
But the Beat Diggers, with 7:50 to go in the game, have a 2nd and 3 from the 15-yard line. Dreitz in motion to the left. Ely this time on the dive play, right up the gut to Geno. First down to around the 10. A gain of 5. Jake Bowman makes the tackle.
They faked the pitch really quick to J.J. Pursley out here to the left side. So last time they ran the pitch out to the right side. This time they faked the pitch to Pursley to the left side, and then Ely turned around really quick and handed it to Geno back over on the right side, and Geno just bowled ahead for those yards and had Roaring Fork defense trying to figure out where the ball was.
That ball is just a hair short of the 10, so we're not going to call it 1st and goal yet. The Beat Diggers could get a first down, maybe inside the half-yard line. First down, and Ely on the bootleg left has running room to the 10. He fumbles the football at the 6, and that time it is recovered by Roaring Fork at the 7-yard line. Boy, if they rule that down, that would be ridiculous. No, Roaring Fork does have the football. That is the appropriate call. Recovered by Tyler Hunt, and the Beat Diggers commit their first turnover of the game when they were in the red zone, Dave.
Yeah, that's just a terrible thing. Is Matt wasn't running the ball very hard to begin with, as he was trying to pick a hole and instead of just running with it. That was the first bad thing Matt did. But then just not holding on to the ball is the worst thing. And like we said before, when Pursley had that fumble, these guys, these seniors, they got to remember they got to keep control of that football. They got to make sure that they don't make the mistake that's going to give this football game to Roaring Fork.
93 yards to tie the game for the Rams. They're down 21-14. 1st and 10 under center is Aaron Markham. He'll turn around, hand it off right up the gut to Jake Bowman, and he might have 2 yards, maybe 3 to the 10. The middle of that Digger defense there to bring him down. And, of course, diving as always towards the ball carrier was Michael Cummings along with Anthony Hurt. It'll be a pickup of 3.
Bowman's got 80 yards on 12 carries tonight, so he's definitely the workhorse on that Roaring Fork offense.
And you mentioned they won on the final play of the game last week against Monte Vista, so this could play into their hands. 2nd down and 7 to go from the 10-yard line. And they have a 72-yard touchdown play today. And the Beat Diggers bringing pressure back to throw deep down the left sideline. Islanic out there. Does he make the catch? Yes! Oh, what an acrobatic play at the 29-yard line. Just leaping above Diggers. And that's a 19-yard gain and a first down, but you can't blame the Diggers on that one.
No, they were definitely in front of him, and they were definitely behind him. It's just that the Digger defender that was in front of him never ever jumped up in the air to even, make a play for that ball. And that's something that he's absolutely got to do.
1st and 10 with a football officially at the 28-yard line. Shotgun formation for Markham. 2 receivers to the left and right, looking to throw out to the right, wide open. This will be caught at the 36-yard line and then hit at the 38-yard line and dragged down by Dustin Bass is Tyler Hunt. But it's a gain of 10. However, a flag is down. Could that be holding against the Rams? We'll find out. They're walking back, and that will be a block below the waist, a chop block. And that's a big penalty there, Dave.
That's a huge penalty, and that's something the Diggers absolutely could use right now after giving up that big first down a couple plays ago.
Now, that probably occurred behind the line of scrimmage, so this could be a lot more than just a 10-yard penalty with 6:04 to go in the game. And we'll find out how far the official walks this back. Apparently it might be from just the line of scrimmage. But I believe at the high school level, this is actually a 15-yard penalty.
15-yard penalty because it's such a dangerous penalty as players, they get their knees blown out and bad things happen anytime you allow guys to go down below the waist like that.
Well, I'm wrong. It's only a 10-yard penalty. But nonetheless, it is a first down and 20 with a football now at the 18-yard line. But with this offense, they're more than capable. Now we're under 6 minutes to go in the game. And was there a flag down? I saw movement there, but I don't see the flag.
What's bad is Roaring Forks puts 3 receivers over here on the right side, and that allows them to create a matchup, a one-on-one matchup with JJ and their number 1 receiver, Nislanik, over on the far side. Brush, when they bring trips over here, that forces Brush to take Josh Gutierrez, the free safety, and move him out here with him so that he could, he can help these guys out over here where they have a bunch of receivers. So it's a scary situation over there for JJ to be matched up against Parker and East Atlantic.
Well, there was movement by Roaring Fork, another 5 yards back, 1st and 25 with the ball at their own 13-yard line. 2 receivers again to the left and right, and a beat digger went off sides. Michael Cummings anticipating the snap, Dave. Got a little bit too aggressive. Now it's back to a 1st and 20 with 5:50 to go.
Right, gave him 5 yards right back, and you can't really blame Michael there, boy. He's just trying to make sure that he's getting in there and trying to put some pressure on Markham and not let him get the ball off without having a hit right in his face. But we've seen a bunch of key mistakes by the Digger seniors, and like we said at the beginning of the game, it's going to be the seniors that win this thing.
Not sure these refs are counting right. Now it's 1st and 19 from the 19. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Shotgun, Markham to throw. Here comes pressure. He's going to be dragged down if somebody can get him. There he is, down at around the 19-yard line at the line of scrimmage. All the beat diggers were there, and Michael Cummings makes the play. No gain, 2nd down and 20.
Right when we were disgusted with Michael, he totally redeemed himself.
The line I heard in Dumb and Dumber between Lloyd and Harry. Anyway, 2nd down and 20. That's not as serious a situation as we have right now, with the beat diggers leading 21-14, 5 minutes to go in the game. Roaring Fork at their own 19, 2nd and 20, 3 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. That is East Atlantic out there, their leading receiver. And Markham back to throw. The screen over the middle, caught by Bowman. Are the beat diggers there? No, they're not, at the 25-yard line. Running to the outside to the left of the 30. Left sideline 40. That's going to be a 1st down across the 40 to around the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 26. And I thought a couple of beat diggers could have made the play, but just not possible.
Right. I saw a couple of the diggers running out there, and it's like they either took a bad angle or they were just a little too beat up to make the play and looked like they were kind of limping their way out there. But, that's a play you just love, that screen, and it sure worked good for Roaring Fork.
They've got plenty of time to go, 4:42 with 2 timeouts remaining. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Again, trips to the right. Markham on the option right will pitch it to Bowman, trying to get to the outside, and he slips the tackle, then dives across the 45 to the 46, if they'll give him that, because I think his knee was down. We'll give him 1 full yard, even though it looks like more like 3/4 of a yard. Again, Cummings and Geno with a penetration. 2nd down and 9, and Geno again bent over at the waist as we approach the 4-minute and 10-second mark of this game. Just a little bit more adrenaline, and one big play, and the beat diggers can put this away and win it with their defense. 2nd down and 9. The ball just shy of the 46. Baxter and I under center. Markham looking to throw over the middle. The pass is complete at the 40. Breaking a tackle at the 35. Free at the 25. Down the sideline, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. A touchdown by Tyler Hunt. And Roaring Fork draws to within 1 at 21-20. And that one from 54 yards away.
What can you say? Just a great play there by Roaring Fork, but honestly, just not a real good effort there by the Digger secondary to make the tackle. It's one thing if the guy catches the ball, but it's another thing if you let him make the tackle, or if you let him make the touchdown. And if you're going to let him catch the ball, you got to make sure you make the tackle.
Well, we assume they'll kick the extra point here. Tenna is out there. You never know. 3:53 to go. The snap, the kick. It is up. The kick is good. Inside the left upright. We're deadlocked at 21. 3:53 to go. Back in 30 on 10-10 KSIR. 6 plays, 93 yards in 3 minutes and 28 seconds. Aaron Markham to Tyler Hunt from 54 yards away. And now the kickoff. And that'll be fielded by Persley at the 18-yard line, hands it off to Hurt, running laterally to the right to the 30, across the 35, gets to the 40-yard line, down at the 41. That worked out for the Beat Diggers, even though Hurt juggled that ball a little bit. And now Brush, with all their timeouts, doesn't really have to worry about time, Dave. If they don't score, they don't want to give the football, obviously, back to Roaring Fork.
Right. The whole name of the game now for the Diggers is try to bust one if they can, but if they can't, make sure they don't give Roaring Fork a chance to score, because Roaring Fork showed throwing the ball, even against the wind, is no problem for them against our secondary.
1st and 10 for the Beat Diggers at their own 41-yard line. They were up 21-0 at half. Now it's deadlocked at 21. Ely under center. Gutierrez in motion to the left. Geno running right side. Spins to around the 44 and is down right there. It's a gain of 3. 2nd down and 7. That time the tackle was made by Cody Jeffries, the junior.
121 yards for Geno so far tonight, or this afternoon, on 27 carries.
But only about 30 yards in the second half. That's what's killed Brush. Hurt is in. Persley is out. 2nd and 7 from the 44-yard line. The Beat Diggers on their own side of the field. We have 3:04 to go in the game. Gutierrez in motion to the right. And Ely with a long count is now going to call timeout. 2:59 remaining, 4th quarter. Brush 21, Roaring Fork 21. We return in half a minute on 1010 KSIR. John Beltran and Dave Urich from Beat Digger Stadium with 2:59 to go. Brush and Roaring Fork tied at 21. Brush has a 2nd down and 7 at their own 44-yard line. They have been ineffective offensively in the second half, but they need a score here. Baxter split, and Ely to hand it off to Geno, and he's nailed in the backfield. A loss of 1. And that wasn't even close. I mean, Geno could barely get the football before he was smothered by Pat Emborn.
Surprised Roaring Fork didn't call a timeout just now, just to try to keep a little bit more time on the clock. Give them a little bit more time for some offense before the overtime periods.
3rd down and 8. The Beat Diggers at their own 43. And both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. Actually, Brush didn't take a timeout. Well, they did there, but anyway. 3rd down and 8 from the 43. I was trying to get my timeout straight. Gutierrez in motion to the left. Ely to throw, looking towards the left sideline. Complete to Gutierrez at the 46. Tries to break a tackle. He's down at the 50, a yard short of the 1st down. It'll be a pickup of 7. And he was tackled, I believe, by Trevor Hunt on the play. And, Dave, this is a huge decision right now because the Beat Digger running game has not been there in the second half. But you need a yard here to keep the drive going. This might be better going for it now than relying on an overtime with 1:45 to go.
Hey, it's not like a 20-yard punt is going to do him any good with as effective as the Roaring Fork offense has been.
Ely sneaks right up the gut. I don't know if he has it, Dave. I'm not sure he has this. I think he's going to be short. At the 49-yard line, it's going to be very close. I believe he's short.
It's right on the line. We'll see what happens here. If he is short, it's just going to be by a couple of inches.
Yeah, he doesn't have that, not from my vantage point.
Yeah. The referee on this near side, I watched him. He just kind of moved it back a little bit more, so I'm with you. I don't think he made it.
Nope. And with 1:34, Roaring Fork's going to have a chance to win this game. And let's see, they'll measure, but I don't see any way he got this 1st down. The Beat Diggers had an opportunity to seal this game with the ball at the 10-yard line. They stretch out the sticks, and this will be Roaring Fork football. The ball at the 49-yard line, but not the 49 that Brush wanted. They had to get about a couple of inches more. Now the Beat Digger defense, which has been rattled all in the second half, throughout the second half, has got to make a huge stop here.
Yeah, that's for sure, boy. They're going to have to dig in, and they're going to have to put a lot of pressure on Markham, keep him from throwing the ball. But the other thing is remember, Roaring Fork's not going to take any chances either until there's not a lot of time left on the clock. They're going to go to the end zone here at the end, but you can bet they're going to run that option because they've been pretty effective running the ball.
1:34 to go in the game. Roaring Fork now looking to win the game at their own 49. The backs in an eye. 1st and 10. And this will be a throw over the middle. Wide open, a one-handed catch. No! Dropped at the 35. Oh, boy. Tyler Hunt had the football. He was open at the 35, but stuck out that left hand, and it dropped incomplete. Oh, Dave, that could have changed the game right there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If he would have caught that thing, the Brush defenders already overplayed him. They already overran it. He would have been past him when he gained control of the ball and been an easy trot into the end zone. 2nd down and 10, 1:29 to go. Roaring Fork at their own 49-yard line.
This is the first possession they have in the game with an opportunity to take the lead, with the exception of the very first possession they had. The backs in an eye, back to throw again. The pass out in the flat, caught by Bowman at the 50-yard line. Tries to get to the outside, tripped up at the 45-yard line. Boy, that tackle was made, I believe, by Persley. What an outstanding play. If Persley doesn't get him, then Bowman's going a lot longer. Timeout called, a minute 15 to go. We're up to a 3rd down and 5 to go. We'll keep it right here. But right now, the team that stands to benefit from going overtime is definitely Brush. I would think only because Roaring Fork has all this momentum, they could win this game right now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if Roaring Fork doesn't get it here, I really believe that the momentum's in Brush's favor as well. Plus the fact that Brush still has one of the best running attacks in the state, probably one of the best offenses as far as being able to attack you in the state, and I don't think Roaring Fork can take the chance of blitzing like they've been doing on this whole half when they know they have to just stop a touchdown. It's harder to blitz when you're in the red zone than it is when you're in the middle of the field.
Without a doubt, 3rd down and 5 for Roaring Fork. Actually, 3rd and 4, we'll call it, at the 45 after the pickup of 6 on that pass play. They have 1 timeout remaining. Parker Nislanik, the receiver, to the left. The Beat Diggers need a huge defensive play right now. The backs are split. The quarterback, Aaron Markham, is going to give the football off, and a big gainer and a hole across the 35 to the 33. That's Trevor Hunt, a gain of 12 and a 1st down before Persley's there to make the play.
43 yards on 9 carries for Trevor Hunt now as Roaring Fork came out with their option offense.
And they don't have much of a kicking game, and they are against the wind, Dave, so they'll have to score a touchdown here. Clock runs, a minute 4 to go. Shotgun formation. Markham on the option right is going to pitch it late to Bowman, but he's got a seam to the 25-yard line, hit at the 20, 1st down to the 19. That's a gain of 14 yards, 54 seconds to go. Michael Cummings makes the play, but it's a 1st down.
Yeah, that time I saw one of the Diggers fly in there and made a huge hit on him, but he didn't wrap up, and Bowman just kind of shrugged it off and danced sideways and then went ahead for 5 more yards.
Well, the Beat Diggers need defenders out to the left. Big time. Gutierrez is not even out there yet. Now Hurt and Gutierrez are moving out to the left. 1st and 10. Boy, Roaring Fork could win this thing right now from the Beat Digger 19-yard line. Markham in a shotgun formation. He has the football, and he will give it to Bowman running into the line of scrimmage. Now he's nailed at the 21-yard line by Spencer Garrett. It will be a loss of 2. Roaring Fork, with 39 seconds to go, is taking their final timeout. And when they resume play, they're going to mark this even further, should be the 21. When they resume play, well, it'll actually be a loss of closer to 3. We'll call it the 22. But there will be 39 seconds to go when the next play commences.
You know, they almost have to take 2 shots at a 1st down or 2 shots at the end zone. I don't know if they have enough time left on the clock to throw anything short.
That's a good point because, I mean, Dave, the kicking game's not going to be there. They did make an extra point to tie the game, but Christian Tenna doesn't exactly have the strongest legs, so that's the advantage of being at the high school level. You basically have to rely on touchdowns being scored, and that's a good thing, obviously, only for the defense. But here we go. It'll be 2nd down and 13. The football is at the Beat Digger 22. 41 seconds. They've added 2 seconds to the clock. Nislanik, the lone receiver to the left. 3 receivers to the right. Gutierrez is on Nislanik. Shotgun formation. Markham looking to throw. Deep down the left sideline. Gutierrez is closer to the football. It's over his head and incomplete. There was no way that pass was going to be completed. Had it not been thrown that deep, Gutierrez would have had an interception in the end zone.
I'll tell you what, Josh Gutierrez loved the fact that they're throwing the ball over there because he's just the kind of kid that wants to have control of the game. You know, if it's coming down to the last few seconds, and if there's a guy that's got to make the play, I guarantee you Josh Gutierrez has lived that dream more than once, and he wants the opportunity to break this play up.
36 seconds remaining. 3rd down and 13. The ball at the 22-yard line of the Beat Diggers. There are 2 receivers to the left and now 2 to the right. Bowman, the lone setback, in a shotgun. Markham, three-step drop. Pumps, throws. The pass is complete. Dropped! Oh, Tena dropped it at the 4. Oh, unbelievable. He was so open, Dave, and he dropped the football. A perfectly thrown pass at the 4. I thought there was no way he could drop that football. It hit him right in the breadbasket, and it's 4th and 13 with 30 seconds to go, and the Beat Diggers got a monumental break.
The Diggers cannot celebrate with that. They've got to make sure that they're ready. I mean, they got to be really happy that they got a big break there because he was wide open on a perfectly thrown ball. The big thing is here, they got to make sure they knuckle down and stop this one. This is the whole season right here.
I cannot believe this. They're not going to attempt a field goal from here, are they? A 38-yarder. I don't know if Tena has the leg, but he's going to attempt the field goal. Here we go from 38 yards away with 30 seconds to go. The snap, it's down. The kick is up. It's never going to make it. It's very short, about 8 yards deep into the end zone and 50 feet off to the left. Not even close. 27 seconds to go, and the Beat Diggers now have the football at the 20-yard line. Do they take a shot here, Dave?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think you just kneel on it. I think you kneel on it, you tell Matt to hold on to the ball, don't fumble it, and then you prepare yourself for what you're going to do to score when it's your turn.
We will find out. The ball at the 20-yard line with 27 seconds to go. I am surprised that Roaring Fork went for a field goal there. It just wasn't close. It's not even close. Ely is back to throw deep down the left sideline. That was incomplete. Josh Gutierrez was well covered at the 40 by Nieslanik and Aaron Markham. It'll be 2nd down and 10 with 23 seconds to go.
The Diggers are wanting a penalty called on Markham as he hit him right there at the last second, right on the line of scrimmage. But I don't think they stand a chance at getting a penalty for pass interference because it wasn't a catchable ball, or a late hit because he was still running right down the sideline.
Deadlocked at 21, 2nd down and 10. The Beat Diggers at their own 20-yard line. Geno the lone setback. 2 receivers to the left and to the right. The draw play to Geno right up the gut, and he's across the 20 to the 23. They'll give him the 24, and that should end it right here in regulation play as there are 10 seconds to go. And the Beat Diggers now, I believe, are going to call a timeout, and a timeout has been called. 3rd down and 6 from the 24-yard line with exactly 7 seconds to go. And they're figuring here, Dave, just chuck it down the field, I'm guessing, unless they've got a trick play up their sleeve. If there's any time to use a trick play, it might be right now. But, boy, you're back in your own end.
Yeah, I don't think you want to take a chance of throwing the ball up in the air and having them run back any distance at all, just for fear of the situation where they have one more chance to kick that field goal in regulation.
3rd down and 6 from the 24. 7 seconds to go, and Randy Dreitz is elected to call a timeout. And who knows what the Beat Diggers have up their sleeve here. They have not scored since the opening half. So going into overtime, no doubt Roaring Fork has some momentum, but so do the Beat Diggers. They just stopped Roaring Fork on a drive, which Roaring Fork could have had a 1st and goal at the 2. Ely back to throw, deep down the right sideline. That one's going to be incomplete, intended for Nick Dreitz with 3 seconds remaining. That was at around the 47-yard line. And you figure you're going to go for it right now, and you've got to throw the football. If you run the football here and they run into the line of scrimmage and only 2 seconds tick off the clock, you give Roaring Fork an opportunity to win the game. But they'll be throwing the football now, I would assume, and probably deep down the middle. I think they're throwing it down the sideline in case it gets intercepted. It's easier to make a tackle. But if you're going to do that, you might as well run out the clock. 4th and 6, and Ely on the draw play to Geno, and he's stacked up. And, boy, stacked up with the 3 zeros up there at the 23-yard line. He lost a yard on the play. We're headed to overtime. Brush 21, Roaring Fork 21. Let's take a 1-minute break on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran and Dave Uhrig back from Beat Digger Stadium. We're in overtime now, tied at 21. Now, the Beat Diggers and the Yuma Indians went to overtime from Yuma several weeks ago. tied at 21. And Rafael Munoz won that with a 22-yard field goal for a 24-21 win. In that game, it was Yuma getting the football first. And usually that's what you want, Dave, the opposing team to get the football first, so you know exactly what you have to deal with.
Right. You want to know what you got to do. You want to know if you have to go for the touchdown, or if you have to go for two, or if you can just kick the field goal. You know, you have to know those things, or it's better if you know those things, because then you don't. You know, it's easier if you're the team that already has the bar set for them.
Well, the captains will meet at midfield. They'll have another coin toss. Roaring Fork, the visiting team, will call it. If they win it, then they will determine whether they want the football first or last. And basically, you play one overtime. If the score is still tied, you play a second overtime until it is untied, with both teams receiving an opportunity of gaining possession of the football. You start from the opposing team's 10-yard line. And that's the way this overtime will run. Josh Hunt, Greg Geno, and Spencer Garrett will walk out there, along with the Roaring Fork captains. Randy Dreitz, the head coach of the Beat Diggers, receiving instructions from the lead official. And once again, the Beat Diggers did play one overtime game this year, so they're definitely familiar with this type of format.
The only difference in that overtime, you know, at the beginning of the game they didn't play football, and at the end of the game they picked up the speed, and then they went into the overtime with the momentum and won the game.
Today's the complete opposite,
right.
But you have to hope for the same result as last time, in which Brush won. That's easier said than done.
In the first half, Roaring Fork had 215 yards of, or Brush had 215 yards of offense. In the second half, they only had 64 yards. For Roaring Fork, in the first half, they had 125 yards. In the second half, they had 287 yards offense. So, for sure, Brush's defense hasn't been able to stop the running game or the passing game of the Rams.
High Plains has won the six-man championship, defeating Revere 35-22. That's a road win for High Plains. Revere was unbeaten going into that game. And we'll talk to head coach Dave Sheffield on Monday's edition of Preps and More from 1 to 3 and get his thoughts on High Plains' outstanding run through the six-man playoffs. They had to beat some very good teams, including Idalia in the semifinals. And now the coin toss being conducted at midfield. And we will find out momentarily which team will gain possession of the football first. And it will be Brush that will be defending first, I believe, Dave. The Beat Diggers will be defending first. Is that what we saw?
Yeah, it looks like Brush chose to defend, and then they asked Roaring Fork, which way do you want to go? And Roaring Fork says, well, we want to have the wind at our back. So here we go, overtime.
Well, the Beat Diggers have got to play some defense. They did in the first half, but in the second half, boy, if not for a drop pass, this game would be over now, and Roaring Fork would be advancing to the semifinals against either Faith Christian or Ken Denver. And you know that Roaring Fork offense is a lot more confident right now than the Beat Digger offense.
Yeah, for sure. And maybe better stated, the Roaring Fork offense is a little bit more confident than the Beat Digger defense.
You're right about that. They'll line up from the 10-yard line. It'll be a first and goal. Under center will be Aaron Markham with a back split. And this will be a give right up the gut and a decent hole for Hunt. And he gets to around the 7-yard line. Anthony Hurt makes the tackle. It'll be a gain of 3, second and goal. And you know, neither team really has much of a kicking game, although it can be utilized right now because the wind is at their back.
Right, and I think both kickers have the leg to kick it from where it's at right there.
The Beat Diggers would love for Roaring Fork to settle for a field goal. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Markham is in a shotgun formation with Bowman to his right. Second and goal from the 7. Warren overtime. Back to throw. Looking right over the middle. The pass is caught. That's a touchdown for Christian Tenna. And Roaring Fork now leads 27-21 in overtime. A 7-yard slant.
Yeah, he just took off the line of scrimmage right there, and he beat the Brush defender the Brush defender was running about a step behind him the whole way, and he just couldn't keep up with him, and Markham just threw the ball right on the money.
The extra point, a huge extra point attempted by Tenna, who's had a rough day catching the football, but he made a nice grab right there. Aaron Markham will hold. Awaiting the snap. There it is. The kick is up, and that kick is going to be good. Inside the left upright. 28-21. The Beat Diggers will now have the football. They need to score and either kick the extra point to tie or the 2-point conversion to win.
Yep. Now, the thing is, boy, everybody's kind of sitting back going, oh, man, look what happened. But Brush has got a great offense, and they can put this touchdown, or they can put this ball in the end zone, and they can keep right up with Roaring Fork. Heck, they could go for 2 and win this thing.
Yeah, that kick is now going to be a lot harder for Rafael Munoz should Randy Dreitz decide to go that route. I wouldn't be surprised if they go for 2 and decide to just win this thing. But first things first, they have to get into the end zone, and the Beat Diggers have a big 0 on the board in the second half. First and goal from the 10. The backs are split. In motion to the right is Nick Dreitz. Now back to the left. And here is the pitch to J.J. Persley to the outside, holding on to the football. He's dragged down maybe at around the 8-yard line. The play was made over there by Cody Jeffries. And I don't know if they'll give him the 8, just a gain of 1 to the 9, second and goal.
J.J. just a little too small and not quite enough power to break that tackle.
The Beat Diggers might have only 3 plays remaining in their season. Second down and goal from the 9. Gutierrez, the outside receiver to the right. To the left, it's Dustin Bass. The backs remain split, and Ely on the play action looking to throw, and that pass is caught by Dreitz, and now fumbled the football, but no, they're going to call it incomplete at the 4. Third down and goal, and Dave, this almost forces the Beat Diggers to throw 2 plays in a row.
Yeah, now they've got to throw the ball. But Nick went up in the air. He had 2 hands on the ball, but as he came down with it, he just wasn't able to hold on to it. And that's kind of like we were talking about at the beginning of the game, how cold weather affects it. Look at all the turnovers that happen in this game tonight, or this afternoon, and incomplete passes. There's a good example.
Okay, they're going to mark that ball, I guess, at around the 8-yard line. Third and goal from the 8. And Ely this time looking to throw, and that pass is going to be knocked away. Pass interference on Parker Nislanik at the 2-yard line, intended for Josh Gutierrez. And the Beat Diggers, thankfully for them, will have a fresh set of downs.
Yep, it should be a first down if it holds true, even though it's in overtime. And you can bet the Diggers are going to want to have first down when the ball's only on the 2 or 3 yard line.
And the football will be marked, should be half the distance to the goal. And that'll make it at around the 4. And it will be at the 4-yard line after the pass interference penalty, First and goal again for the Beat Diggers. Trailing 28-21 in overtime. Backs are split. And Ely will hand it off to Geno across the right side. Dives to around the 2 as he was brought down there once again by Cody Jeffries. Second down and goal for Brush. Boy, if they score, Randy Dreitz has the biggest decision of his career. I mean, without a doubt. I mean, to go for 2 or to try and tie this game. Second down and goal with a back split. And Ely will pitch it right to Hurt, trying to take it towards the inside. He's upended right at the 2-yard line. He didn't get anything. Looked like Jeffries was in there again along with Aaron Markham. Third and goal from the 2-yard line.
But still, I'm not really concerned about it. I know Brush is going to punch this in the end zone. It's just a matter of just getting the blocks. And right now, Roaring Fork's still riding on some good open field tackling, but just some missed blocks by the Diggers.
This crowd awfully silent, Dave. Third and goal from the 2. They're just waiting for Brush to get into the end zone. Ely under center. Will hand it off to Geno. Right side, he dives, and does he score? And I believe he's down at the inch line. Inside the 1. Fourth down and goal. And if the Beat Diggers do not score here, the season is over for Brush.
Right, this is it right here, this play.
Fourth and goal. That ball is inside the 1-yard line. Roaring Fork leading in overtime, 28-21. The Beat Digger fans begin to rise. Greg Geno more than likely will get the football on this play. 4th and goal from the 1. Ely hands it off to Geno. Right side, he's in. Geno is in for the touchdown. 28-27. And I believe Randy Dreitz, wants to go for 2 here. And this will be the last play of the season for one team or the other, Dave.
Right.
Hold your breath.
This is the big gamble right here, this play. And you can bet the team's been practicing. They know what they want to do. They've probably been thinking about what play they were going to use for their 2-point conversion all week. And we're going to see if it's going to work right here.
Here it is from the 2.5-yard line. They are going for the 2-point conversion. Brush trailing 28-27. And Roaring Fork is calling a timeout. We'll keep it right here. And, Dave, I'd say if your blood pressure's not set at the right level, you need help right now because this is tough.
Tell you what, any kind of play action Coach Dreitz could run should be wide open because everybody's keying on Geno. They have, this whole half, they've had, 10, 11 guys in the box. If we didn't have a wide receiver out on one side or the other, all 11 of the Rams would be in between the tackles stopping the run game. So I can't help but think that any kind of play action would be effective here.
Well, I'd be surprised if a receiver was wide open. I mean, you get somebody separating from the defender, but Roaring Fork has to be looking for the pass.
Yeah, they got to be thinking about it, but I still think, if I had Greg Geno, I wouldn't hesitate to give him the ball. I think that he could power through and get 3 yards anytime he wants. And at the same time, Matt Ely's a good quarterback. He throws the ball really well. He throws it very accurately to some very good receivers. And it's just going to be neat to see what Brush does right here.
The 2-point conversion for the win. One team will emerge as the winner after this play from the 2.5-yard line. Ely with a man in motion to the right. Play action, looking to throw, still looking towards the corner. Nick Dreitz has it! Touchdown! The 2-point conversion is good! The 2-point conversion is good! The Beat Diggers win the game! 29-28! The Beat Diggers have won the game! Holy mahungus! They advance to the semifinals. Dave Uhrig.
I'll tell you what, I hate to say it, but I predict. I was talking with Coach Schaefer back here, and that's the play that was wide open that they scored on earlier with Nick Dreitz at his tight end position. And Nick's such a heads-up player. That play could have been called where he's just going to run a fake 24-81 dump right over the middle. And just like last week, he just gets across the line and he finds the open spot. They throw it out to him, and what a neat opportunity for Matt Ely to throw the winning touchdown pass and for our conversion pass and for Nick Dreitz to catch it, and just a great job there by the Diggers pulling something out that they had in the bag earlier in the game. Don't forget this thing was 21-0 at the halftime, and the Diggers let Roaring Fork methodically come right back and almost take it away from them. So a good job there for the Diggers and some great play.
Yeah, that blocking there was so critical, Dave, because if one player's on top of Ely, it doesn't allow Dreitz to be free and roam freely in the end zone and catch that 2-point conversion pass from Matt Ely. 29-28 in overtime. The Beat Diggers have won the game, and they advance to the 2A semifinals, where they will face Faith Christian or Ken Denver. We'll take a break, a 3-minute break. We're back after this on KSIR.com and 1010 KSIR. John Beltran, Dave Uhrig, back from Beat Digger Stadium in Brush. Brush wins in overtime over Roaring Fork, 29-28. Welcome to the Ebenezer Lutheran Care Center Brush postgame show. Ebenezer has personal care, homemaking, and lifeline available in their home, as well as a variety of care options available on their beautiful wooded campus in Brush. Ebenezer Lutheran Care Center, 122 Hospital Road in Brush. Call Val 842-2861. Ebenezer Lutheran Care Center, they care for your loved ones. The Beat Diggers were comfortably ahead in this game, 21-0 in the break. And here is how Brush got to that point in this game. On their second drive of the game, the Beat Diggers were able to score, and it was Greg Geno from 1 yard away, completing an 11-play, 68-yard drive in 4 minutes and 53 seconds. That made it, once again, 7-0 following the extra point. Meanwhile, the Beat Diggers on their second drive early on in the second quarter, an 8-play, 72-yard drive in 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Matt Ely to Nick Dreitz from 4 yards out. 2-point conversion was good. That ended up being big, making it 15-0. excuse me, then the Beet Diggers would score again on their next drive in the second quarter, and that would be a 7-play, 70-yard drive in a minute 50 seconds. Geno from 2 yards away, and Brush comfortably ahead 21-0 going into the break. But on the second play of the third quarter, Aaron Markham hooked up with Parker Nieslanik from 72 yards away. PAT was good on a 16-second, 77-yard drive, making it 21-7. And then the Beet Diggers reestablished the momentum later on in the quarter on a Michael Cummings interception. They got the football at the Roaring Fork 24, could not score, and then later on in that third quarter, a 50-yard drive, 6 plays in 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Jake Bowman from 2 yards away, making it 21-14. As Dave mentioned, the Beet Diggers with a chance to seal the game. Matt Ely fumbled at the 7-yard line, with 7:14 to go. And Roaring Fork proceeded to go on a 6-play, 93-yard drive, 54-yard pass from Markham to Trevor Hunt, make that Tyler Hunt, his brother, and the game was tied at 21 after the extra point. And then in overtime, 2 plays. Christian Tenna with a 7-yard reception from Aaron Markham. The extra point was good, making it 28-21. The Beet Diggers had a third down and had the football at the 8-yard line. A pass interference penalty was called on Parker Nieslanik. The Beet Diggers got the football at the 4-yard line, and then they got all the way to the 1-yard line. The final play, perhaps, of Brush's season, 4th down and goal from the 1 in overtime, but Greg Geno was able to score, and then the 2-point conversion play, a 2.5-yard pass, we'll call it that, from Matt Ely to Nick Dreitz, and the Beet Diggers win the game 29-28, and that's not me breathing, folks. That's head coach Randy Dreitz. Coach, I don't know where to start. I mean, you had the lead. This was unlike any other game because you've dominated first halves this year. But in this game, or second halves, I should say, but in this game, you really dominated the first half, and it just looked like, Roaring Fork came to play in the second half. I mean, how did you see this thing break down?
Well, I thought we were doing really good the first half, as you well know. But second half, coming out, I think that first touchdown, I could feel the momentum switching, and we gave them a little hope there, and that's all they needed. And watching from last week's game, they came back against Monte Vista, and I was worried about that at halftime. And I told them we have a whole another half to go. We got to play this second half, and just like you did the first half. And hats off to Roaring Fork. They did a great job of stopping what we do defensively. They were stuffing Greg Geno pretty tough, and I knew we had to throw it, but it was tough getting time because they were blitzing, and we had to have quick passes, and it was great to see us come out with this victory. But God dang it, we need to pull together and have a full game, not a half. And but hats off to our players. They played hard, and that was part of my decision-making by going for 2 instead of for 1. Well,
that was going to happen regardless, was it not? Or did you actually make that decision right after Geno scored the touchdown?
No, it wasn't going to happen regardless. After we scored, we talked about it, Coach Swint and myself, and I asked the other coaches, and they were like running and hiding. They didn't know what to tell me. So I said, well, I called a timeout at that point in time, and I went out there, and all the kids said, we got to run that play, Coach, the play we ran, because that's what I had called. And I said, you sure you don't want to just go for 1 and try it again? And they said no, and so I went with that, and good thing it happened.
Was that some of the best blocking on that individual play, Coach? Because as you mentioned, Roaring Fork was able to stuff Geno in the second half, and even on a play like that, on play action, you need some good blocking just for Matt Ely to have a little bit of time. It seemed the blocking on that play was maybe the best one play blocking-wise that the team might have had in the second half just to give him the time.
Well, it's a quick pass, and there's play action with it. They were really flying towards him. Greg ran the ball extremely hard, and when we faked it all to him, he was flying. They were flying to him, and they did a great job of stopping him in the second half.
Did you have concerns with your team leading 21-14 and forcing 4 turnovers and committing none until that point that you only had a 7-point lead? Was there an eerie feeling on the sideline that you should have had more separation on the scoreboard than you actually had, even though you were able to force all those turnovers?
I think we should have. The big thing, we had the ball down here ready to score, and Matt was running a bootleg, and he had a fumble there, and they recovered it. I think that was another big momentum change for them. Greg, they were trying to strip it from him. He did almost fumble once. It just happened to land back in his arms, and they were a good football team, and they were going for that football, and they were fired up, ready to play, and I got to say that hats off to our guys. We played extremely tough, and now we got a new task at hand, and I told them that down there on the field that, okay, now we made it farther than we did the last 2 years. That was one of your goals, and now we made it. Now we can't get satisfied because in one more game we're in the state championship, and that's an awesome feeling to be in that state championship, and I hope that these guys can get there.
Coach, safe to say you don't want to find yourself next week against another wide-open, shotgun-oriented offense. It just seems very difficult to defend that type of offense.
Yeah, it is. It's difficult because they get more time in the pocket. You don't get very much time to pass on a pass rush, and so your DB's got to cover them a lot longer, and it is tough. But we definitely got to do a better job on a couple things. But for the most part, we played tough, and we had a few breakdowns here and there. But they played hard, and that's all I can ask.
Coach,
John,
congratulations, Coach, and I think we might.
Can I interrupt you real quick and tell Coach? Faith Christian came out on top, so it'll be Brush and Faith Christian next time.
There we go. So it'll be a rematch of the 1998 championship game here in the semifinal. That'll be on the road next week. But anyway, congratulations. I think at least I need a doctor. I don't know about you, but that was getting rather nerve-wracking there in the fourth quarter. But the Beat Diggers will take on Faith Christian next week, and we'll see you on the road, Coach. I know the team is looking forward to being on the road. Maybe that's the environment you need. Get away from this place just to see how you respond with all that adversity. Last time you were on the road, you beat Burlington, and that was a very tough road game.
Yeah, it was, and it'll be a tough game for us this week. I've heard a little bit about Faith, that they're a big team, and they're going to come right at you, and we're going to have to play good, solid football.
Beat Digger head coach Randy Dreitz will take a break. You're listening to the Ebenezer Lutheran Care Center Brush postgame show on 1010 KSIR. John Beltran, Dave Urich back from Beat Digger Stadium in Brush. The Beat Diggers win in overtime in this Class 2A quarterfinal playoff clash, 29-28 over the Roaring Fork Rams, a game in which Brush led 21-0 at the break, then trailed 28-21 in overtime. But once again, a Greg Geno 1-yard plunge on 4th and goal in overtime to go along with a 2-point conversion pass from Matt Ely to Nick Dreitz, and the Beat Diggers advance to the semifinals at Faith Christian next Saturday at 1 o'clock, and that is the proposed time, but we believe that will take place next Saturday at 1 o'clock. I don't anticipate any changes here. But, Dave, just an incredible game. An incredible game. We thought it would be a laugher after 24 minutes, but instead it turned out to be a thriller.
Yeah, I'll tell you what a great game. But, the whole time in the last couple of weeks, there's a lot of pressure on those seniors, because the way they're thinking is this could be my last game. This could be my last game. Every time this could be my last play, my last everything, and I'm just so happy for Matt and Eric and JJ and Greg Geno and Michael Cummings, all those other seniors on the line of scrimmage, and all those kids, just went out there and gave it their all. And when the seniors can go out there and make the big plays and be the guy that wants the ball, good things are going to happen. And those kids have worked really hard, and they sure deserve to be in the semi. And I feel sorry for Roaring Fork too, but I'm sure glad that
not
our
that
kids
bad.
are
Yeah.
in the semifinals.
Well, Geno had 89 yards at the half day, but he was really neutralized in the second half. He was on pace for about 180 yards, and yet he didn't come close because they played him tough in the second half.
Right, he ended up with 123 yards total. In the second half, Brush only had 53 yards rushing compared to 166 yards rushing in the first half. And as far as passing, in the first half they had 49 yards, and in the second half they only had 11. So they were really neutralized. Their entire offense was neutralized in the second half.
Meanwhile, Roaring Fork did a tremendous job in the second half, and they pretty much established some balance and obviously threw the football a lot more than Brush did throughout the course of the game.
Right, in the first half, passing, they only were able to come up with 46 yards in the first half, but they added 195 yards passing in the second half, along with 82 yards running for a grand total of 287 yards just in the second half. So they really came out and lit it on fire and took advantage of some turnovers and just some situations where Brush could have took advantage of some opportunities, and they didn't, and Rolling Fork exploited it, and they exploited it even against the wind.
And Jake Bowman, 15 carries there for 95 yards, but you get to the semifinals now, Dave, and you have Eaton taking on Holy Family, and Marcus Cameron will have the scoreboard show coming up in just a few minutes, and Brush will be at Faith Christian, and who knows if the Beat Diggers are a team of destiny. They've won 2 games that they could have easily lost both games. They trailed in both games.
You know, there's a lot of weird things that happen when you get into the playoffs. That's why they always say you got to forget about everything else that happened earlier in the season, and the playoffs and the finals are the championship games or a brand new season, because there's just so many weird things that occur. But, you know, I don't think Brush is intimidated by Faith Christian. They lost because of some missed conversions. Brush had a fumble on the 6-inch line that would have scored a touchdown that probably would have won the game for them when they played them in the finals a few years ago. And Brush knows they can go ahead and go right after them and play right with them.
You've been listening to the Ebenezer Lutheran Care Center Brush post-game show. The Beat Diggers have won the game today in overtime, this Class 2A quarterfinal over Roaring Fork, 29-28. The sound engineer and producer of Brush Beat Digger football is Amy Darrell. For Dave Urig, I'm John Beltran. Brush and Faith Christian next Saturday at 1 o'clock from Faith Christian in the Class 2A semifinals. We'll talk to you then. Stay tuned for Marcus Kammer and the scoreboard show, an update and finals of all the playoff games played this afternoon throughout the state of Colorado, right here on your home of the Brush Speed Diggers, where the final score for one final time was Brush 29, Roaring Fork 28 in overtime. This is 1010 KSIR.